All right, here we go. Papoose. Welcome back to VladTV.
Vlad, what's going on, my brother? Long time no see, man.
Long time no see. You haven't on a little bit. And what people don't know is that me and you actually go back pre-VladTV 20 years back.
Nah, it's crazy, man. Like, if I remember correctly, you correct me if I'm wrong, the first time I met you was, rest in peace, Chris Lighty at Violator office, man. And we would have a specific day where I knock out all my interviews, and you was one of the guys there. But what always stood out to me about you was sometimes when you interview with people, they don't know nothing about you. You know what I mean? Especially when you're just coming in the game. Even though I had a nice buzz back then, you, out of all the people that was interviewing me, I could tell you actually did your homework. Like, you knew things about me. You know what I'm saying? And you always stood out from back then to me.
Well, thank you, man. And the thing is that as much as you care about rapping, I care about interviewing. I put everything I got into it. I do as much research. I try to get as much info. I try to go as deep as possible because this is my craft. And to anyone who's out there doing it, just make sure you go all the way because that's where the success comes from. Just going all the way as hard as you can. So thank you for, pointing that out because it's true. Back then I was going all out, doing all the research and making sure that I had all the best questions.
Nah, dope. What's dope to see is back then you was running around holding the camera, and now you done turned this into a whole empire, man.
Thank you, bro.
Word.
Thank you, man. Well, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The 50 Cent beef, which your girl Clarissa Shields has been dragged into as well. So before this actually happened, you and 50 had some back and forth.
Yeah, man. Like years back, when I was in the media a lot, I was on television, I was viral, my name was out there a lot. You know, he came hating back then. I think he just a hating ass nigga, man. Like anybody that's doing good within the Black and Latino community, he start hating on them. You know what I mean? He never does it to people from other walks of life though, which is very interesting. Back then he, like I said, I was constantly in the media, just doing my thing, and he came on my page with a little weird comment. I ignored it. Time went by, he did it again. You know what I'm saying? The second time, I ain't say nothing about it. I let it go. It's cool. Third time, I said, nah, I'm tired of this nigga now. So I shitted on him. And we had like a little back and forth. It went viral in the media back then, a couple years back. A lot of people was in my ear like, yo, Pat, why you entertaining it? You know, it's 50 Cent, he's a troll. But back then, a lot of dudes was like to me, it seemed like they was afraid to respond to him. I'm not one of them guys, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, we went back and forth back then. A lot of people was like, yo, leave it alone. Time went on, 2026. Here we go again, him hating again.
Okay, so January 1st, 2026. You're waking up, New Year's Eve is the night before, and your phone is blowing up.
Yeah, man. The dude got like 39 million followers, man. So when somebody with that many followers do some weird shit, you're gonna know about it. So I wake up New Year's Day, man, you know what I'm saying? New Year, feeling good, had a great New Year's Eve. And when I get to my phone, my phone kind of going crazy, you know what I'm saying? A couple of people like, yo, what happened with 50? I'm like, what you mean what happened with 50? Why he dissing you? I said, damn, he dissing me? So I can't see it because he had me blocked for years now. The nigga blocked me back then when I started shitting on him when he called himself doing a little bully thing back then. So he had me blocked. I couldn't see it. So people started sending it to me. I said, damn, this nigga being disrespectful for no reason, you know what I mean? So I told Clarissa, I said, you know what? Because he disrespected both of us when he made the post. So I told her, I said, ignore it, man. Don't even pay that no attention because she was in training camp for a fight. So I said, just focus on your fight. Don't even entertain it. I got it. Let me handle it. I shits back on him on the gram. And then when I shitted on him on the gram, we went back and forth. And I think later on that day, she ended up saying something to him anyway. So it just turned into a whole back and forth.
Well, I actually looked it up. He took the movie MMA, Black Sister's Revenge. It's an old blaxploitation film from 1976. And he put her face into the woman's dialogue and your face into the man's. And it's like, oh, I never loved you and all this type of stuff. I was trying to figure out what movie it was from. I had to chat GPT it. Like, I'd never even seen it. This is before my time. But yeah, man, it was kind of like dissing y'all's relationship in a way.
Right. Because, they got the whole false narrative out there which everybody who know me, man, y'all know, they know how I am. You know what I'm saying? So I think my character and what I do as an individual, as a person, as a man, always spoke for itself. You know what I mean? You didn't see the false narrative until after the back and forth that I had, you know what I mean, with my past relationship. So after that, people ran with the false narrative, and I don't think it was something that he actually created, because what he does is he actually reposts a lot of different memes that he see on the gram, and it makes it seem to everybody like, oh, 50's hilarious, but he's just really reposting some bullshit. So he took it, he reposted it, and you know, you held responsible for that because you're a grown ass man. I mean, which was to me was very disrespectful.
Well, he posted that. I think Clarissa did respond, and there was some back and forth, but soon after, in a very rare move, 50 actually apologized. He said, okay, the truth is, I'm a Clarissa Shields fan.
Well,
I think she's an amazing fighter.
I'll tell you what happened.
And she has a
I'll
big.
I'll give you the correct chain.
Hold on. Okay, go ahead. I
just want to give you the correct chain of events, because this is what he does, man. A lot of people don't. This dude is a funny dude, man. Like, he'll post something disrespectful about a person, and then when they respond, he takes his down real quick. So while you're responding, all of his little dick riders and minions and bots that he got programmed to do what they do, they start saying, oh, why are you clout chasing? Oh, you better leave 50 alone, because when he respond, you're not going to be able to handle it. Because when they go to his page, he done removed his post. So he got like some weird way to entrap you into saying something to him, and it looks like you're the one who started it. So let me give you the correct chain of events. What happened was he posted the disrespectful meme. We woke up on New Year's Day, minding our business, living our life to his disrespect. I told her to chill, don't pay it no mind. I responded to him. When I responded to him, me and him got into a back and forth. Eventually, she said something to him, because you know she's viral damn near every day for different reasons, whatever. Then some other individual who be on the gram hating all day doing some weird shit, when it made a video, because Clarissa had did an event for 50. He basically like flew her out, took care of her expenses to go be a part of his event not too long before that. So they tried to take footage from that event and make it look like, oh, she was just there on the stage and 50 didn't want her there, not knowing that she actually had footage of him shouting her out, bigging her up on the stage, and he actually flew her out to the event. So he took that false narrative and posted that on his gram. When he posted that up to make it seem like she just was on some clown shit at the event, like he didn't want her around, she posted the truth. Once he seen that everybody actually seen him bigging her up on stage, then he came with the fake apology and the backhanded apology, where he went and posted an old picture of her from years ago when she was in the Olympics or something like that, and tried to be funny. So it wasn't a real apology, bro. In case you didn't know that, I'm telling you. Some people on the gram, they actually know that, but they just dick riders, so they just still say, oh, he apologized, yeah, your guys are clout chasing. Knowing damn well this nigga's a troublemaker. He fucks with everybody every day when they minding their business, and nobody holds him accountable.
Well, the whole apology went like this. He said, okay, the truth is I'm a Clarissa Shields fan. I think she's an amazing fighter, and she got a big fight coming up, so I'm going to chill and let her focus. Let's go, champ.
Yeah, it was bullshit. You seen the picture that he posted?
an old picture of
yeah, it was an old picture. She got plenty of beautiful pictures when she's prepared for it, not when she's coming out of the ring or after a fight or just trying to be funny, man. You know what I mean? Like he always do. We all know this guy. This is not new to us. We've seen him in action 100 times. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, look, man, Clarissa has always been beautiful. You know, we all had awkward stages as kids and so forth, and it just is what it is.
Yeah, but that's just him trying to be funny, though. Let's call a spade a spade, you know what I mean?
Okay. Well, Clarissa had her fight. It went well. I mean, because she's a undisputed champion, like 3 different weights, right?
Oh, my God, yeah, man. She's the best in the world right now. Actually, the face of boxing right now. Actually, it's about to come out soon. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but actually, the top ticket seller right now in boxing, if not the number 1, definitely top 3. Right now,
Are you talking about, you mean men and women?
In boxing, period.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I mean, Clarissa has made a lot of history that man or woman hasn't done. in boxing. Like she's done a lot of historical, monumental things. And by the way, that fight that she had went amazing, flawless victory, man. She won every round. It was crazy.
Okay, she had an amazing fight, and then things were relatively quiet. And then what happens next?
Yeah. So before he even disrespected us, which I kind of think was a crutch, you know what I'm saying, or a scapegoat, he had a situation with Mano, Jim Jones, and everybody on the Let's Rap About It podcast, right? Mm-hmm. He already had disrespected them. I don't know exactly what he did, because I don't pay the nigga no mind. Like I said, he blocked me a long time ago, man, you know what I mean? So I really don't know what be going on, but I did remember that he disrespected them, and they did what they were supposed to do. As MCs, them niggas went in the booth, handled their business, they went at him. So when they went at him, the pressure was on them because everybody was saying, yo, you gotta respond. You called these dudes out, you disrespected them, now they responded in the booth. The whole situation went viral, crickets. You don't hear nothing from him, he goes into hiding. So when he initially disrespected me and Clarissa, that was my response. I said, no. Don't try to, you know what I'm saying, get away from what you gotta handle. I said, yo, respond to Fab and Mano and them, man. You gotta go and handle that. Don't try to detour and make everybody forget about that, coming over here fucking with me. Go handle that. So when he did the disrespect to me, I'm gonna let you know right now, a lot of people don't know this because they got the false narrative online, his bots. You know, he got a bunch of bots that come to your page, a bunch of weirdos. He hides on his fake page. They come with the false narratives, the paid posts, the paid YouTubers, all the shit they got going on, right? It's weird. Social media is weird right now. It's in a weird space. By the way, what Meek Mill said is some real shit. When we get back to that later. So they came with the false narrative because eventually he went fucking with T.I. But before he even fucked with T.I., I already had my diss record done. If you go to my page, he disrespected me January 1st. You can see pictures from my video shoot on January 11th. I just didn't release it because Clarissa had the fight coming up and he's a major distraction. So I said, after the fight, I'm gonna drop it. In the process of me holding it, he done fuck with T.I. and T.I. and his and King and all of them, shout to them, they start tearing his ass up, pause. You know what I'm saying? So I was just waiting till after the fight to drop mine, but it been done.
Well, you had a Many Men freestyle. Mm-hmm. That was before Agent Provocateur?
Probably like, they came like close to the same time, like probably a day or two before each other. I had all of that done. Soon as he disrespected me, I went in the studio, I did the car ride situation, I did all that. But I just said I'm not gonna drop it until after the fight. So to answer your question, my freestyle and my song and my video was shot immediately. Cause I was just to the point where I said, I'm tired of this nigga, man. This nigga always playing these disrespectful games, trying to undermine people and all that. Like, I'm gonna give him what he's looking for.
Well, he did drop the response record to Mano, Fabulous, and them. The song with Max B. Now, that was already a Max B song, and he kind of inserted himself, you know, in terms of the verses on that song.
Shout out to Max B, but that was trash. That joint was trash. His part was trash. Let me say that. His shit was trash.
But Max B, there was an AI video with that song with Max B in it, but Max B didn't actually record that song with 50. 50 kind of just jumped on the song and just used the chorus to kind of back up what he was doing with the other guys. I seen that they made an announcement that they had something coming, so I think it was a real joint, as opposed to him just jumping on it, because I think like a week or so before that, they announced that, hey, we got something coming real soon. And then later on, it came out. Are you sure about that? Because I remember I had Mano on recently. He said, no, that was a song that Max B already had out. If you're on the song, you're co-signing it.
Right.
If you're doing
the song, hold on, relax. First of all, relax.
Okay.
The song had already been done. Do you know that?
Which song?
That song.
The 50 song?
It's not a 50 song, it's a Max B song.
Oh.
See, this is why I said he was trying to use him as a pawn, because that song was already done.
Huh, okay, I didn't know
That's
that.
the first song he dropped when he came home.
Oh, with the same NWA
everything.
beat? Okay, got it. Okay, I didn't realize that.
50 got on it later on.
Oh.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh.
Yeah, the song, I think the song was out, but him getting on a remix is something that they announced was coming soon. Like, he didn't just jump on it like how we used to do coming up, where a dude put out a song, you just jumping on without them even knowing. Max B was fully aware that he was on the record because I seen some type of content on the gram where they announced that it was coming.
Got it. Now, wasn't it that song where he's like, I'm not even gonna respond to you because you have no hits or something like that?
Well, when he said that, he actually showed a picture of Dave East when he said, "Yo,
Dave. Oh, that was Dave East.
Yeah,
My
he
bad.
said I ain't
Okay,
gonna
got
respond to you. And then somebody made a meme with that on it. I think he posted it eventually because a lot of the stuff he posts, man, you know, people be thinking it's him, but he really just be re-sharing shit that be on the gram. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a meme with that about me, but he in the record, he showed Dave East when he said that.
Okay, got it. My bad.
In the video, yeah.
Well, you released Agent Provocateur.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of bits in it and that I'm gonna, kind of go through. So the first one is you're claiming that he got, that he lied about getting shot 9 times. It was really 5 times.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard that before, sort of, but I'm not really sure if it's true. Like, well, how do you know it was 5 instead of 9?
Well, you gotta understand, I'm really from New York. I grew up here my whole life, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the kids in the suburbs and people from out of town, they don't really know the truth about him. But us in New York, we been knew that was cap. The whole I got shot 9 times thing was cap. We been knew that. There was various situations and various times when that information came out from very reliable sources. You know what I mean? When we knew it was true that the nigga lied about how many times he got shot. And even recently, the mother of his child did an interview. She was there when he got shot, and she even said it. But to answer your question, everybody from the town, man, know that whole shit was cap. Like, we been knew that. But I noticed that in hip hop though. When you go to certain cities, you find out things about artists that you didn't know. But their hometown, they know the real deal. But people out of town, they're from a distance, they don't really know what's going on. But it's been proven, man. It's been out there for a while.
Well, there's a line, you and hate on your own crew. Why you dissing Banks? Is it because he nicer than you or because he just a snake? So you think that Lloyd Banks is nicer than 50 Cent?
It's not even close. Hell yeah. You kidding me?
I'm gonna have to disagree.
I think 50 Cent would tell you that, man. You kidding me?
Come on.
Lyrically?
If you look at their catalogs, and listen, shout out to Lloyd. Me and him have our history, but just taking a step back, and if you look at the catalogs and the number of songs that reacted from 50 Cent versus Lloyd Banks, it's not even close.
I don't care about none of that, Vlad. With all due respect to you, I don't care about none of that. Let me tell you something. No Lloyd Banks on those mixtapes when 50 was coming up. No, what was it, 13 million records sold, the whole success, none of that happens without Banks. If you look at the mixtape run, which actually propelled him to the level that he's at, you had to be nice back then, bro. You had to have bars. And Banks was the one carrying the heavy load back then, bro, pause. Banks was the one killing shit lyrically. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a nigga to take that away from a nigga. I'll tell you that straight up and down. You know what I mean? Lloyd Banks is the one that really built that shit on his back, bro. I'm telling you. Like, when we was listening to them freestyles, the singing shit was cool that he was doing. You know what I'm saying? When he stole Josh style and all that. And, he had his back and forth with Murder Inc. That shit was comical. It was cool. But lyrically, if you really listen, it was Banks who was really going crazy back then, bro.
Well, look, at the end of the day, we could agree to disagree. You're a rapper and a lyricist, so obviously you have a different viewpoint on this that I don't have as someone who doesn't write lyrics. But I think both of us will actually agree that, Lloyd Banks may be the better lyricist, but overall 50's a better songwriter.
I think that's a gimmick. It's a very false narrative in hip hop, man. It's just something to make these dudes feel like they're something that they're not. Like let me tell you something. Let me explain something to you. Guys like, and I don't want to just make it about Banks, because it ain't about Banks. You asked about it, so that's where we at. But I think guys like Lloyd Banks, people never want those type of guys to get their proper respect and just do, because if the real lyricists get the props that they deserve, these other guys can't exist. So they gotta make it seem like, oh, he's a better songwriter, because that shit is just, it makes it easy. Laffy Taffy was a hit. It don't take no
Yeah,
talent.
but-
They don't take no talent to do it. And shout out to them. I'm not disrespecting them guys, man. You know what I'm saying? But I understand the essence of hip hop, and I'm not one of those guys who judge artists off of felonious bullshit and fluff. Drake and all of these guys already pointed out that they buying their own records, they doing fake streams and all that. So the success of an artist, I don't judge a man by that because a lot of that is fluff and fake anyway.
Look, shout out to D4L. Laffy Taffy was a hit, but that was really the only hit they ever had, right? When you look at 50's career, he had hit after hit after hit after hit, and he wrote hits for other people as well. So we can't take away the musical impact that 50 had.
I didn't see that part.
I'm pretty sure when Get Rich or Die Trying came out, I'm pretty sure you liked that album.
Yeah. I said it on the song.
Right.
I said that. After Get Rich or Die Trying, though. Let me tell you something, right? Okay, you pointed out that he said, I don't have a hit or whatever, right? Right? You brought that up. You mentioned that, right? Okay, so that gives me the right to respond to that comment, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I gotta do it like this, Vlad, because nowadays this internet shit is weird. So they just make it seem like I'm saying what I'm about to say out of nowhere. I'm responding to this hating ass nigga, to what he said, right? Two things I want to say. When he said that, I said to myself, I said, damn, this nigga Ben fell off a long time ago. Why he talking about a hit record for? That was just my natural instinct kicking in, right? When he said it. I said, I know it's been a long time since this nigga been hot on a musical level. Let me see how long it was. So I did what people do nowadays, right? I Googled it. When was the last time 50 Cent had a hit record? Because he said it about me. I'm doing my fact check. It said 2005. Vlad, it's 2026. So you mean to tell me you disrespect an MC, because I consider myself an MC, like me, and when I respond to you, your leg to stand on is a hit record that you haven't had since 2005? That's what you think makes you better than me? I disagree. Oh, and the other thing was this. This was very funny to me, very strange to me.
Go ahead.
Because he always been a hater, man. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of like situations like this because when you know somebody's been secretly hating on you for a long time and it finally comes out and they get to say the hating ass shit that they've been saying behind closed doors and moving little weird chess pieces and shit, you get to see it come out. But what was very interesting was when he said, yo, he hasn't had a hit, right? And then in the same breath, the nigga quoted one of my biggest hits. Oh yeah, you know your girl was bucket naked. That was one of the biggest songs I had. Was killing it in the clubs, all over the radio. You know what I'm saying? Doing amazing. So that was strange to me. You know what I mean? When the record was out, doing extremely well, you never tweeted about it. Which I don't want nothing from you. You don't owe me nothing. But now, when it's time to hate, you want to quote bucket naked. So, welcome to the music business, man.
Well, you got the line, try to take Mayweather money, put you in your place. Heard the story about how Floyd punched you in your face.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never heard of Floyd punching 50 in the face.
You didn't? I did.
Really?
Yeah, he said it himself. Go look it up now. Now that after this, you mean to tell me when
he had.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
When you heard that, you ain't go do your due diligence?
Okay. I do remember this one time. Okay, if you're talking about this story, I remember hanging out at G-Unit offices with 50, and I remember him telling the story. This was right around the time that Floyd caught his domestic violence situation. Way back then, right? This is what we're talking about?
Nah, I want to hear what you're talking about specifically. So I'll tell you.
So we were hanging out in the office, right? And he was telling us a story. There was a few of us there. And basically he was at Floyd's house, and Floyd was like joking around, and he had this big bag of money, right? The big the big Louis bag filled with money. And he was like, yeah, and I'm about to get this money here, and then we're about to do this here, whatever else. And 50 was like, oh, word, I'm gonna take this from you. And he like grabbed it, and he turned around, and Floyd just out of like reflex just kind of like jabbed him, like I think like in the back of the head or the shoulder or something.
You quoting this story, or you telling it from like somebody?
No, he told me the story.
Okay, I'm listening, yeah.
That's what he said. And then he turned around and he was like, yo. And then I was like, no, chill out. But it's not like Floyd actually punched him in the face. He just sort of kind of like, when he grabbed the bag, he sort of like did like a little jab just out of reflex. And then, you know, they just sort of laughed it off. That's what I heard.
Nah, that's not
I didn't hear that. I did not hear that Floyd actually punched 50
Oh,
in the
nah,
face.
that's not what I heard.
That's not the story you heard? Mm-mm. Okay.
No.
All right, what's your story?
Not like that. That's like a downplay, you know what I'm saying? When you get punched in your face and you want to downplay it. It was a situation where something to that degree where the money, the bag of money, he wanted Floyd to pay him some. I don't like to get into grown man business too much because I'm not there in the flesh. But long story short, he felt like he was entitled to some of the bread that Floyd had, I think from a wrestling event or something like that. So he's like, yo, where my cut at type shit. And in the process of that, he tried to grab the money. Physically, he did something to Floyd, like some little weird shit. And Floyd knocked him upside his motherfucking head, man. That's what happened. Now, I understand if that's your. Let me finish.
He literally
I understand
said the
if that's
story
your
with me in
man,
the
and
room.
I get it, bro. I know how you are. You know what I'm saying? Me and you've been cool for years, so
Yeah.
it is what it is. But you know, he tried to downplay it, man. At the end of the day, where we from, you don't let nobody put their hands on you, bro. I don't care who it is. It could be Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather. Like, you gotta stand up, bro. I'm sorry, bro. You can't just downplay it just because you laughing about it like it's cool. Nah, they gonna punch you upside your mouth. They gonna go upside your noggin, bro, and it's a go. Nah, sorry.
I mean, but they were still friends at that point. Like, they literally got on the phone with each
Yeah,
other.
you
He's like,
better
I'm
get
about
on the
to fly
phone
out,
with me.
come
You
see
better be my friend and don't ever try to grab my money again, nigga. Most of the times, Vlad, most of the times when you knock a bully upside their head, they want to be your friend. They want to be your friend after that most of the time.
Okay, but look at the situation for a second, okay? Let's just say me and you are at your house, right? I'm at your house, and you got a big bag of money. And I grab the bag.
Nah, that's not what happened, though.
No.
No, it was a conversation first.
Do you really think I'm going to get away with that bag?
No, it wasn't that, though. You leaving the part out.
Like...
You leaving out a key part. He felt like he was entitled to some of that bag. He actually verbalized that. This man told the story himself, by the way. You know what I'm saying? He told this story publicly. He felt like he was entitled to some of that bag. He verbalized that. Floyd disagreed with that. Long story short, the altercation broke out. It happens every day, Vlad. Dudes you thought you was cool with, y'all get into a little scuffle. You know what I'm saying? It's cool.
Okay, so there's the line, black child poked you up, left you with the shakes. Bruno Carvalho yapped your chain and ended up with a case. Okay, so the black child situation, I know. It was the whole, was it at the Hit Factory situation where 50 got cut by Black Child.
Oh, so you sure it wasn't
me and
like...
Tony Yayo have a famous clip, when we talked about it, he tells me to shut the fuck up. I don't know if you 50 got stabbed that day, right? He did get stabbed,
Vlad,
right?
shut the fuck up with that shit.
Okay. That meme came out of that whole situation. So that's that. I mean, that's established.
But let me ask you a question before you go. You sure Black Child wasn't just playing around and he just stuck the knife out a little bit?
No,
or did he really get stabbed?
It was an actual fight.
Oh, okay, because whenever it's this guy, it seems like we downplaying when he get punked, but keep going.
I'm not downplaying. No, well, listen, I heard he got stabbed. Yayo said it was a scratch. I wasn't
See what I'm
there.
saying? See, you gotta watch the tactics. He's very clever, Vlad. He's very clever. Watch this guy.
But there was some knife play at hand.
Knife play, I like that. I like that, knife play.
We got that. There was a knife play at hand, right? So who is Bruno Carvalho?
Bruno Carvalho is the dude. By the way, this is the craziest shit I ever seen happen to a rapper in my life, by the way. I'm gonna keep it a buck, Vlad. Like, I grew up on the borderline of Bed-Stuy and Brownsville. Seeing this right here was the craziest shit I ever seen happen to a rapper. Bruno Carvalho, I hope I'm saying his name correctly because he's actually from the motherland, Africa. He's the guy who, when 50 Cent was performing on stage, who came on the stage, put his arm around him, and yapped him. You ever heard Annie Up from MOP?
Yeah.
Yapped that fool, put his arm around him, and yapped his chain. That's Bruno Carvalho.
So you're saying Bruno stole 50's chain?
No, he yapped his chain off of his neck. It's to steal is when you take it when a person is not looking. He took it from him. He took the chain, and in the footage, when he yapped his chain, 50's first reaction was, if you look at the video, he pushed his man, like, get him. Then he ran behind the dude after that. You know, your first reaction says a lot.
Okay, so did he get the chain back? You're saying he pressed charges over that chain?
I'm telling you exactly what I said on the song. He ended up with a case. The dude ended up with a case. He yapped 50 chain. 50 pushed his man at him. When his man went after him, it looks like on the footage, then 50 pursued the chase with him, however it went. And the dude ended up locked up, man, for that chain. Now, since you're a guy who do your fact check, look this information up. It's public information. He got locked up.
Right, but I've never heard of 50 pressing charges over a stolen item, like a chain.
You never knew that he got his chain yapped neither though, right?
Yeah, but I've never heard
Oh,
of
you
anyone
did know?
saying,
Okay.
Yo, here's the paperwork of 50 pressing charges against me. I've never seen that.
I just said, yo, he yapped his chain and ended up with a case, bro. You take from that what you want to take from it. It speaks for itself.
All right.
It speaks for itself.
You're connecting the dots, but all I'm saying is
He ended up getting
locked.
locked up. Me personally, a nigga yapped my chain, I don't want him to get locked up. That's just me.
Okay.
Everybody's different. I can't hold nobody to my beliefs. I don't want him to go to jail. Actually, I'm gonna make sure he doesn't go to jail. That's just me. I don't expect nobody to agree with that, but me personally, it's cool. I don't want you to go to jail though.
Well, there's the line, you ain't diss Eminem, you're a slave master, you're a joke. Now, why would he diss Eminem though?
Well, if you listen to the line before that, I pointed out how he disrespected all his friends, bro. I went down the line. He goes at it with everybody who he was friends with, he went at. But out of all of those friends, the only one you never disrespected was M. So that's why.
I mean, I've never heard him disrespect Dr. Dre.
He disrespect. See, I don't like to get into this, man, because, you know what I'm saying, some of these individuals I'm cool with, you know what I'm saying? I consider myself cool with. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I don't even need to get into some of that. But I think you see for yourself what this dude does. Young Buck is signed to him. He ends up in beef with Young Buck. Game is signed to him. He ends up beefing with Game, or whatever they deal was. I don't want to speak on Game situation. I don't know the details, but I know they was working together. He ends up going at it with Game. Once again, of course, the nigga who helped him get where he at and doesn't even get credit for it, which is weird as fuck to me, Lloyd Banks. He disrespects Banks for a living, on the regular, whenever you feel like it. He disrespects Banks. So these are your day ones. You talking about Dr. Dre, like, I'm giving you Banks, I'm giving you Buck, I'm giving you numerous individuals, Game. I can keep going, by the way. I'm just gonna stop here because it's a waste of time. He does television shows with people. He end up disrespecting them. You disrespect all these people, but the one person you never disrespected, there you go.
Well, you could also say that Eminem did the most for him than anyone in his life.
Oh, so that's what it's about? It's about who do the most for you? That's how you determine your respect?
I mean, I think that that's part of it. I think you can't just ignore that part.
Nah, I don't judge respect on what you do for me. I'm not one of those type of people. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Real?
Nah, I don't.
Okay, so you mean to tell me
it's a little opportunistic.
Okay, so you mean to tell me that someone doesn't give you the opportunity and the platform and $1 million when you don't have it and catapults your career into where you are today, that should not be a basis of respect?
But so that means he deserves more respect than your day one, Lloyd Banks? He deserves more respect than a guy like that?
Well, look,
Just
man,
because
I think when it comes down to those situations, and that's really their relationship, I think it's very hard, and you've experienced this yourself, to break an artist and to have a successful record label is one of the hardest businesses in the world to be in. I've said this publicly, and I bet you would agree with me, that it is a better business decision to buy scratch-off lottery tickets than to try to break a new artist. Am I right?
Well, you got to listen to what you're saying now and pay attention because, you're talking about lottery, which is based on luck, right?
No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying
I just want to point that out,
that 90% of the people who try to break a new artist end up losing all the money on that artist. Am I right?
It happens a lot of time. I wouldn't say 90, but I would say very close
all the new artists. Now, I'm not just talking about major labels. I'm talking about all the D-boys out there who invest in the hot dude on their block, and all the real estate guys who think they have an ear for music, that start their own little record labels and whatever else. All these artists that you constantly see, you know, they do videos, they have Rolls Royces and all that, even though they don't, you know, you've never heard of them before because someone's financing all that. And then 3 months later, you've never heard from them again. It's extremely hard to take someone you've never heard of and turn them into something that people are really consuming on that level. Really, really hard.
But see, I wouldn't want one of those careers to where you that's because they're going to get individuals who are not really artists. Let me tell you something, Vlad.
Yeah.
A true artist who's really a great artist might come every 20 years, bro. The rest of that shit be garbage. A lot of it be trash. And that's why they have to push the low-level talent to the forefront, because if the guys the true artists, the true passionate artists who are really talented, who really have substance, consistency, versatility, if those guys were to get the respect that they deserve, a lot of people wouldn't have jobs. So I get it. I wouldn't chase one of those careers. You said it yourself. You look at those guys who made the quote-unquote hit record, the big record. Where they at now?
D4L?
I'm just saying a lot of the one-hit wonders, they gone. You forgot about them. You don't even remember them.
Well, I mean,
you got one record and you gone. Then you got a guy. Then you got a guy like a lyricist who
the other dude died. You know, I mean, there's more to it. Like, I mean,
a lot of those got Vlad. You can't sit here and deny that we don't remember a lot. Some of these niggas just had a hit record 5 minutes ago and we don't remember them.
Yeah.
Like, let's not deny that. So I'm just pointing out to you that I'd rather have longevity in the game, shameless plug, Papoose, than be a one-hit wonder any day.
Well, look, man, I'll say this, and this is just me being honest. I think what 50 did at the start of, you know, the first few albums in terms of G Unit and everything else like that, by putting them in position, hopping on a lot of their songs. You know, I remember, you know, he even talked about this, and I agree. His first album was on fire, right? It went diamond. But instead of putting out a second album, he put out the G Unit album. And I think he got behind a lot of these guys, and he got on a lot of their big songs. You know, Tony Yayo's So Seductive, his biggest song, that's 50 on the hook, right? That's 50 all over the song. You know, Game's first album, 50 originally was on half the songs. They had to actually take out some of his, you know, I mean, there's one song, and me and Game talked about this in our interview, the song that Nate Dogg does on the hook, 50 actually did the hook, but they took 50 off because he was on so many songs with Game that they didn't want it to look like a collab album.
50 was on the hook to Special because he wrote the hook for Special.
Right.
And we just put, he was, I was good with it, 50 was good with it, because I think at that point he was only on 4 songs. But I think Jimmy Iovine was like, we want Game to stand alone, and I think the 50's on too many songs, so let's just put Nate Dogg on another record. And so we put Nate Dogg on that.
But 50 really contributed to a lot of these dudes' success. And, you know, as opposed to saying, okay, I'm just gonna keep putting out albums solo myself and have it focus on me. I think he really gave a lot of those dudes platforms. Including Game, including Lloyd Banks, including Young Buck, including Tony Yayo.
As an artist, I'll tell you what I salute him for, what I liked about it. By the way, the first album, I would be a fraud if I sit up here and say that album wasn't fire. Come on, like, we're not gonna do that. So let's get that out the way. Like, I'm not one of those guys, but I'll tell you what he did, in my opinion, that I think was genius. That first album, to me, if you listen to it, because I'm not programmed like a lot of people these days, I'm not programmed, and I wasn't back then. That was the same shit he did on the mixtapes. The most genius thing he did was, when it was time to release his album, he did the same shit that he did on the mixtapes. A lot of people get in that position, and you got so many people in your ear, oh, you gotta make a record, it gotta sound this way, it gotta sound like that. Hey, you know, they start telling you how to create your music. What he did that was genius was, he said no, and he stuck to what the fuck he was doing on those mixtapes. So when you heard Get Rich or Die Trying, you heard the same guy you've been getting on the mixtapes just now with the machine behind it. So that was smart, and I think that's the mistake a lot of artists make when they get in that position to release music on a major label. You know what I mean? They start trying to control you and all of that. He stuck to his guns. So to me, when everybody's saying, making it seem like he's this quote unquote hit maker and all this, no. The nigga stuck to the script. That's what worked for him. You know what I mean? He did what he was doing, and when that shit came out, the streets loved it, and it was contagious. The kids in the suburbs, he had the fake story, you know what I'm saying? I got shot 9 times. You know, those guys did the album cover with the bullet holes, the whole shit, the marketing team, everything fell in place, you know what I mean? So that, as far as that, you can't front on that first album. But me personally, you know, you got a guy like Nas who did Illmatic and then came back with It Was Written. Babe, bro, he ain't come up with no It Was Written. You know, where's the sophomore? That shit, it wasn't that. Some people argue that Nas' second album is better than the first. I'm not one of those people, but some people argue that.
I'm not one of those people.
No. But no, hold on now, Vlad. Hold on now. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna tell you this, bro. That second album is a problem. I'm not gonna jump in front of myself and say it's better than Illmatic now, because Illmatic, come on, bro, but it was just as good. I'll say that. I'll go on the record and say that. You disagree?
I would disagree, because was it on that second album where it had like Nas Is Coming and the Dr. Dre production and stuff like that?
Was Nas Is Coming? I'll tell you this, what was on there. That was a standout for me. Poetically, I never heard nothing better than I Gave You Power, by the way. Poetically. The Message, he had a lot of crazy joints on there, man. Like I could keep going, but let's not get away from the point. Your man, his second album compared to Get Rich Without Trying, what we doing? What we talking about?
No, listen, I didn't like the second album or the third album.
You know what?
The first one.
You're an
I'll give
honest
you that.
man, man. I'm glad you told the truth today, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm gonna keep it 100. I mean, listen, DJ in my name is not just someone's initials.
Okay,
You know,
got you,
I'm an actual DJ. I have Mixtape of the Year plaques. Like,
right.
You know, come on. You know, at the end of the day, music is music. I take it seriously. No, the second and third album had some joints on it, but definitely it didn't have the magic of the first one. It also didn't sell like the first one, but it did go multi-platinum. So at the end of the day,
to me, the next time he had a moment was, if I'm mistaken, I'm talking about like a big moment was I Get Money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ever since then.
Well, I mean, he had the power, you know, Big Rich Town. That was a hit. That was a hit record. It wasn't necessarily on his album, but it was a big song, and it being on the TV show. All right, we can agree.
And then ever since then, he just been making his bones off of disrespecting people, man. Disrespecting the Black and Latino community on a constant. Like, you disrespecting women. What? Damn, bro. You disrespect Tiny. You know, she has sons. She got a husband. They standing up for her. What you expect them to do? And I just think that it's time for us as a people, you know what I'm saying, to start holding this dude accountable. We got to stop, oh, he's just a troll, all this and that. Nah, bro. You know, I live off of right and wrong. Leave black women alone, bro. Stop disrespecting black women, bro. Stop. It's tired, it's corny, and it's weak, bro.
Okay, so things went quiet for a little while, but then 50 started trolling Clarissa, claiming that he had damaging Ring camera footage of her and this guy named Maserati Bud during Christmas. Did you and Clarissa ever have a conversation about this guy, Maserati Bud?
She told me about it. Beforehand. Before he even did the shit that he did, whatever, on social media, she told me about the situation. So I already knew about it. So when he came, you know, playing those games, I think it was self-explanatory. It spoke for itself. You know what I mean? The dude already said that he, you know, they never was intimate. He never had sex with her. He already admitted that. So once again, just like 50 did with Big Meech, oh, I got the paperwork. What happened to the paperwork, bro? It never came out.
Well, this started a whole new chapter.
Right, yeah. But just to answer your question, yes, she told me about it beforehand. So when he went and did the sucker shit he did, which was cap, because the dude said it himself that nothing never happened. It was a clout chase. 50, when I dropped Agent Provocateur, he didn't know what to do. His man is on a call saying, if you listen to it, I don't know if you listened to it, on the same call where he admitted that, you know, they never did nothing, he also said, the man back is against the wall. Talking about your man Curtis. Yo, come on, man, the man back against the wall. The man is digging. He didn't know what to do at that point because it had him fucked up.
Well, Clarissa responds, calls Bud a weirdo, that was stalking her, trying to get out the friend zone, and so forth. And there's all these text messages that go back and forth and so forth. She claimed, like you said, that they never had sex. She never even sneezed on him. So was this a guy that was trying to talk to her?
He said it himself.
What's the backstory?
I don't know the dude, so I can't sit here and tell you, you know what I mean? Like, speak on him like that. I don't know him. I don't speak on dudes I don't know. What I can tell you is, she brought it to my attention. She told me about him, you know what I mean, the situation or whatever, what it was. So when 50 pulled the stunt that he pulled because he didn't know what to do when I dropped Agent Provocateur, we already knew that he was gonna do some corny shit like that and make it seem like more than what it was. As you can see, you know, what he claimed, it never came to fruition. So it's just, I'm just pointing out to you the tactics that he uses, you know, when he's in a position where he don't know what to do. Same thing he did, in my opinion, the same shit he did with Meech. You know what I'm saying? He put dirt on that man's name, and he never produced what he said he had on that man, and nobody held him accountable for that.
Well, didn't Clarissa say that she's suing him at this point?
She did, because you gotta understand, you know what I mean? And like I said, she's her own person. She's a two-time Olympic winner. She's a black woman. She's a role model and a mentor to so many young children out there. So she has so many, I don't gotta go on and on with her accolades. She has a strong, powerful brand that's very influential to young girls and to black women out there. You can't just go out there and say she slept with somebody that she didn't sleep with. You can't make false allegations like that. So, you know what I mean? She doing how she feels suitable. Her and her team, because she has a very powerful team, they handling that how they feel it needs to be handled.
Well, did she send him a cease and desist, or did she actually sue him? Because there's a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not her attorney. I can't really speak on that, but I do know.
Okay.
I do know she's handling that how she feels suitable, man. Because, you know, bro, you can't go out there, man, and disrespect women. These are women. You can't do that and don't expect them to react, because women are very emotional. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Clarissa is Claressa Shields. She's who she is. She's a warrior. She's amazing. She's a phenomenal queen, man. You know what I mean? That speaks for itself. She's a fighter, but she's still a woman, bro. And when you're disrespecting black women like that, whatever comes with it, you got to deal with it. Especially when you lying on their name. Especially to just lie. I think it was something else he did with another female R&B singer where he lied and said he had sex with her, and it never happened. The truth came out later, so that's on him, bro.
Well, when this was going back and forth, I tweeted, you know, it was a lighthearted joke, basically, where I said, do you think Papoose is scared to break up with Clarissa Shields? And you hit me right away. You're like, yo, man, did you get hacked, or is that you? And I was like, no, that was me. Come on, man, I'm joking. Come on. I'm not disrespecting anybody.
Nah.
When your girl is like the greatest female boxer of all time, I think that, you know, a violent situation is something that most men would consider at some point. Not to say that you guys have that kind of relationship, but I'm just saying most men are not scared of girls, but I think a lot of men are scared of Clarissa. Right?
Nah. I mean, that's how I am, bro. If I see some shit on the internet, if I know you, like we got a relationship, I'm not about to fucking dish you on the internet. I'm going to contact you, whether the text or call. Like I know Sula would be like, yo, bro, what we doing here, man? Like, come on, man, not you, man. I expect these weirdos on the internet, not you.
I mean, look, right? Like, some time back, there was a picture that surfaced of Clarissa, and she had your name tattooed under her breast, right?
Yeah, man, definitely.
So all I'm saying, and I'm joking about it, right? But I'm also not completely joking, because, you know, I've gone through relationships and everything else like that, and I've had, you know, relationships that went bad and so forth. But you're older than Clarissa. She's a bit younger than you, and she seems really, really in love, right? When someone's tattooing their name, so you know their significant other's name on them, that shows a level of love and commitment that you don't see very often. And all I was saying is that if it actually did go bad at one point, do you think that there's an opportunity that things could get violent from her end, just from her being so heartbroken?
Well, first of all, the love goes both ways, man. The same way she loved me, I love her the same. You know what I mean? And as men, we gotta lead by example. That's the way for you to receive that level of love from a woman. When you're genuine like that and authentic, they can sense that as opposed to you being fake and a fraud. So when you see me getting that kind of love from her, it's a reflection of us, of our relationship and our union that we share together. So I love her the same. But no, as far as getting violent, no, man. I would never hit a woman, bro. Ever.
Well, no. I'm not saying you're hitting her. I'm talking about her hitting you. That's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm more worried about.
Once again, Vlad,
Right?
once again, you get what you put out. I lead by example, bro. You know what I mean? As a man, your woman is always going to be, a reflection of you, bro. If that's your woman and she's dedicated and devoted to you, she's going to be a reflection of you. Now, if she starts dealing with somebody else, you're going to see reflections and signs of that. But I lead by example. Like I said, I would never even attempt or think about putting my hand on no woman. You know what I mean? Clarissa is the champ, though. Let's not get it twisted, right? So, I don't want you to think I'm ignoring that, but I'm just being honest. No, bro, never that. No, that's not going to ever happen. No. It's funny, though.
Have you guys ever just like play fighting, like slap fighting, in the house and stuff like that?
I'm in training camp with her all the time, bro. I'm holding the pads with her. We fuck around all the time. Yeah, man.
Okay.
So what you're telling me, Vlad, is if you was in a relationship with the champ, one of the greatest fighters ever, you would be like keeping your eye on her, like you would be a little nervous.
I would be a little worried, man. I would be a little worried,
Funny as hell.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because, at the end of the day, look, like, I had Crip Mac on my show, the other day, right? Crip Mac, big, huge gangster dude, 300 pounds and so forth. He gets into like a little sparring match with this dude, Dean the Great, who's like 150 pounds, and Dean knocks him out.
Wow.
Literally half his size, but someone that knows how to punch, that does it professionally at the highest level. And Dean is not even like a highest level dude. He's just someone who's had some boxing matches. We're not talking about the greatest boxer of all time like Clarissa is. A straight punch by someone that really technically knows what they're doing, that's a knockout artist, I'd be a little worried. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And I hope it never comes to that, man, because you're my man. I hope it never comes to that.
Ain't that type of
But listen,
party,
man,
bro.
I've had violent women in my past. I've had abusive women in my past.
Really?
And it's not cool. Nah, it's not cool, man. You're in a fucked up situation because, you're a man, but still no one wants to get hit.
But that's the key part you said, Vlad. You're a man. And as a man, we never supposed to put our hands on a woman. And when we lead by example, but like you said, you can't control other people's actions sometimes. I get it. I don't want you to think I don't hear you, but nah, not over here, man. We don't play them type of games.
Okay. Well, the interesting thing is, though, when I put that tweet up, a lot of the responses was, oh, he's not going to break up with her. She makes all the money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she's done interviews that basically said that you pay all the bills.
What you want me to do, Vlad? Like I said earlier, false narratives. We live in the era where there aren't many leaders. That's why on social media, what we have? Followers. So once a false narrative goes out, unfortunately, everybody jacks it. But you look at Papoose, right? Since I came in the game, every time you ever see me decked out, always, carry myself in a, let me just get to the point. Always been fly, right? Heavy jewels, right? Nice whips. Okay, moving on forward from that. Grinded out with my brother DJ K Slay. When I met Slay, I already bought my first house before I even got my first record deal, by the way. My first deal was $1.5 million. Consistently, I met Slay in 04. Consistently put out music from 04 to 07 when I finally signed to Jive Records. So I had to keep my name hot and relevant for 3 years. But when I signed for how much, Vlad?
1.5.
$1.5 million, right? Which is a bigger deal than a lot of these your favorite rappers, but that doesn't make me better than them. Let's move on along. Okay, I signed for $1.5 million deal, myself and my brother DJ K Slay. I'm touring in Norway, Amsterdam, Russia, touring overseas.
Call
tour in Russia. In Africa, I'm like a god. There's footage of this. If you go online, there's a whole tribe of people who name themselves Papoose just off the influence of my music, right? Live from Africa. Made a ton of money, toured different countries all over the world. Bring it up to date, Vlad. I transitioned to executive and become head of hip hop at TuneCore, one of the biggest distributors of music. Today is a very special day. I feel blessed and humbled to announce to y'all I am the head of hip hop at the best, biggest distributor for all independent artists across the planet, TuneCore.
Papoose is our new head of hip hop at TuneCore.
Which was numerous six-figure deals right there by itself. Then, you can Google this stuff, by the way, Vlad, I'm telling you this. Sign a six-figure deal with TuneCore, do 2 other six-figure deals within that situation by itself. And this is all publicized. Do a six-figure deal with Google. You can look this up, myself, T-Pain, and a couple other people. Another large, tremendous deal. So in the process of me transitioning to executive, I've been having a very successful executive career. I'm also an executive at Win Records. Oh my God, we get so much money. We do so many big concerts, so many of your favorite artists. We're the ones paying them and booking these concerts all over from Hawaii to California, everywhere you go. So you got an executive at TuneCore, you got an executive at Win Records, consistently putting out music, toured every country, right? Dropped 12 albums in 1 year, never done before in hip hop. I've been getting so much money, Vlad, right? Okay, let me finish. So, a father who takes care of so many people, you know, if you put a microphone on these people, they'll tell you that. You know, this man has taken care of me, protected me, fought my battles, did it all. It speaks for itself. You know, unfortunately, when I got into a little back and forth online, you know, she wanted to assassinate my character, so certain things were said, and they were all lies, Vlad. And for those who fell for the lies, I feel sorry for you, because you've been bamboozled, you've been hoodwinked. So that's where that came from, Vlad. That false narrative came from that. It came from an exchange. And I think if people weren't so shallow, they would just look and realize that before that false narrative took place, you never heard no shit like that on my name, ever. So it's all cap.
Yeah, man, listen, you've always been fresh. You know, I've never seen you fucked up. You've never asked me to borrow money like from my other friends in my life. Like, yo, no, listen.
Yeah, like, come on,
good.
man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's just false information, man. And some people know it, most people know it, but they just want to have something to say, man. It's bullshit though. So shout to Clarissa, man. She's one of the best things that ever happened to me. I love her to death. She's amazing, kind-hearted, you know, just a great person all around, man.
Well, let's talk about the background with you and Clarissa. And I kind of have to go a little bit before then just to kind of tell the whole story. Now, I understand you're going through a divorce right now, so I'm going to be very careful in how I state these questions. But I kind of want to just give some general background, because when me and you were doing interviews once VladTV already launched, Remy was locked up. And were you guys already married at that point?
Yeah.
Okay, so you married her before she got locked up, and you were visiting her in prison. And you know, we even talked about how rare that was in a women's prison. How it was like you and like one other guy would be the only guy showing up in these women's prisons, right? But you literally held her down the whole time. You guys got out. You guys, you know, reestablished the relationship. You had a beautiful baby, and everything was going fine until it wasn't. And according to reports, right around 2022 is when you guys kind of stopped sharing the same bedroom and things started to kind of go left. Is that relatively accurate?
I can't say the exact date as to when, you know, things went left, but I would say it's safe to say, yeah, around that time, you know what I mean? You know, things went left. I can't just say exactly when, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, was there one thing in the relationship, in the marriage, that made both of you say, I just don't think this is gonna work?
Nah, it wasn't. It really wasn't. You know what I mean? Like I said, man, and like I always say, you know, I have nothing bad to say about her. You know, like you said, I'm going through a situation right now. You know, we are handling it. We are handling the divorce. So it's not much I could really get into about that. But what I will say is that, you know, y'all as fans, like you said, me and you did an interview, and we spoke about it. We spoke about, you know, what I was dealing with, visiting her through her bed, the whole situation, right? Yeah, you know what it is? The men don't stick by the women when they go to prison. That's the only reason why people feel like it's so rare. Mm-hmm. You know, when I go to Rikers Island, visit my homies on the visiting floor, it's full of females with little kids. It's packed. When I go upstate to visit Rem, the visiting floor is deserted. Huh. There's nobody even visiting them. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only reason why it's rare, because dudes don't support them. You always hear dudes complaining, yo, when you get locked up, fuck a bitch. A bitch don't hold you down. But it's a penitentiary full of women, and nobody ain't do nothing for them. We spoke about that, so you kind of seen it unfold right in front of your eyes. Like our life has been an open book, and you know what you seen transpire is what transpired. You know, sometimes, you know, when they hit the fan, you know, it has to be made to seem like it's more than that, but it's really not, bro. Unfortunately,
well, relationships are hard, man. Marriages are hard. Having kids is hard. And then, you know, you're talking about kids from other relationships as well, mixed in. So you got kind of a blended family. Yeah, man, it's hard, especially there's a spotlight because you guys are public figures. That makes it even more hard. Mm-hmm. I get it.
But family is everything, man. I you know, I'm a strong, powerful advocate of that, man. Family is everything. Family first. And you know, yeah, like I said, I got nothing bad to say about her, man. No comment on you know, as far as she's good.
Well, then in 2023, going into 2024, there was the whole situation where the battle rapper, Easy the Block Captain, seemed like they had some sort of relationship with Remy. They kind of made it public and so forth. Was it kind of weird still being married to Remy while she's publicly dating someone else?
Well, you know, like I said, you know what I mean, without, you know, getting into details about her, you know, son got knocked out, you know what I mean? Son got knocked out, straight up. And it went from there. I will say that. You know, I'm not gonna get into, like I said, I don't really wanna get into it about her, man. I wish her the best, and I got nothing negative to say about her. I will say, you know, which I did say, I said it publicly before, which was, you know, I didn't knock him out because of what he did. I knocked him out because he shook my hand and then did what he did. You know what I mean? But, you know, just no comment on her.
Okay, so this comes out, and then Remy accuses you of cheating with Claressa Shields, and she had posted some text messages and so forth as proof. When did you and Clarissa actually meet?
Yeah, me and Clarissa met July 2024, Vlad.
Okay.
So I want you to answer that for yourself, you know what I mean? You just talked about a chain of events that took place, right? But me and Clarissa met July 2024. And you know what's very interesting for VladTV, man? I'll say this for VladTV right now, which is very interesting about the fact that me and Clarissa met July 2024 is we met at the Shakur Stevenson fight in New Jersey, right? But the next day after we met, we talked through the DM, and she said, hey, great, it was great meeting you, Papoose. But you know, when you talk through a DM, what does it have on it, Vlad?
Emojis?
No.
I don't know.
No.
What?
On a DM, because all of this stuff is documented on social media. So when things are documented, what do they have? The time and what else? Timestamp in the day.
Timestamp. Right.
So when me and Clarissa met July 2024, you know, unfortunately, you know, like I said, nothing bad to say about her, you know what I mean? I wish her the best. But there are people on social media who push these false narratives about, oh, they've been together and this and that. There's a timestamp, guys, and it's dated, documented of when we first met. We just don't care enough to post it. You know what I mean? But for Vlad TV, I share that. I share that with your audience.
There you go.
So all of the, everybody out there with your fake stories, and because Vlad, there are people who are making a living off of this story, man. Like they got entire YouTube pages. They fabricate so many stories. They take AI images. They put people in the hospital. They put people in altercations that never took place. But a very strong part of their false lying narratives is, oh, him and Clarissa been together this long. Not knowing it's documented and dated when we met. Because we spoke and we talked about our encounter, which was, hey, it was great meeting you. You know what I'm saying? So that's neither here nor there, Vlad. One thing I'm not into is the business of proving myself to people. You know what I'm saying? I know you for a long time. We doing an interview. Cool. You're not gonna find much content of me even talking about this shit in detail.
Well, you guys met. Did you instantly hit it off or did it take a little while?
Yeah, well, when I met her at the Shakur fight in Jersey, because everybody know I've been a big fan of boxing. I've been at all of the fights. I knew these fighters when they were young. Shout out to Devin Haney. Shout out to Bud Crawford. Pardon me. I've been to his fights. I can go on and on. Shout out to my brother Badu Jack. I walked him to the ring. This is all before I met Clarissa. I've been a big boxing fan. I've been a big part of the boxing community. You see me front row seats at all the fights. You know what I'm saying? So when we met, initially I came into the fight and she was already sitting down, and as I was walking to my seat, I turned around. Being a big fan of boxing, I was like, oh shit, that's Claressa Shields. Because I was actually a fan of her, you know, long before we met. When she won one of her fights, which I always do on social media, I put up a video of it on my story. So that also has what on it? It also dates, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't know her. I did that as a fan. So long story short, I'm walking to my seat. Oh shit, that's Claressa Shields. We shake hands. Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. I'm sitting down. She's sitting not too far from me. So throughout the duration of the fight, you know, we're speaking on the fight and things of that nature. And when we were leaving, she was taking pictures. When I was coming in, I was taking pictures with fans. When we were leaving, she was taking pictures. But I just noticed that some of the people she was taking pictures with and some of the media was like rushing her. So I just was kind of like, yeah, hold on, like one at a time. I'm just helping out a little bit. And long story short, you know, she invited me to her fight. She had a fight coming up. She was like, yo, I want you to attend my fight. And due to that, that's why she had DM'd me the next day. Like, hey, Papoose, great meeting you. I'm going to connect you with my assistant or whatever so you could get the tickets to the fight. I want you to come to the fight. And to answer your question, it just started out as a friendship, bro. We was just texting as friends, talking back and forth. It was just great conversation. You know, she was telling me that, because everybody know how to rap, right? She was like, yo, I write poetry. I was like, oh, word. And we exchanged poems. I wrote a poem, she wrote one, which was very impressive, by the way. She's a great poet. And, you know, the relationship just grew.
Well, you guys started to go to like the MTV Music Awards, the red carpet. You guys were seen together, and then you guys did the Breakfast Club where you talked about the relationship.
Yeah, Vlad, it was really, really, really an organic relationship, man. Like I said, we started out as friends. We were just talking back and forth. I came to her fight and supported her. And we just stayed in contact, and it just grew. But yeah, to answer your question, eventually we did do the Breakfast Club. Actually, I was there to promote my album, and the plan was for her to just chill out in the back, if you look at the video. But throughout the interview, they was like, hey, Clarissa, come on up to the mic. And she ended up coming to the mic.
Okay, so now you guys are official. Are you guys living together at that point or just dating?
Absolutely not living together. Absolutely not.
Okay.
Clarissa has a property, her own home, and then she has other numerous properties. And I have my own property and my own places of residence as well. Right.
Well, I think at one point she kind of flashed a diamond ring, so people were thinking, oh, are you guys engaged? But I guess she said no.
No. We have bought each other gifts for different holidays. I bought nice gifts for Valentine's Day, Christmas, her birthday. So we exchanged numerous gifts, but never a ring.
Well, there was this fight in Detroit, and Rick Ross walked out Clarissa performing the Big Meech song, the BMF song. Was that the start of the problems with 50? Was it because of that?
Well, let's not act like 50 Cent needs a reason to start with somebody. Let's keep, like, yo, bro, listen, it's cool to be a fan of somebody or to be cool with somebody, but we gotta call a spade a spade. Number one, you know, he doesn't need a reason to start trouble with anybody. That's number one. Number two, she can walk her to the ring, whoever the fuck she choose. Nobody's moving around here, oh, let me not let this person walk me to the ring because 50 Cent might have a problem with them. That doesn't work like that. If he wants to work with somebody that she had a fight with or she got a problem with, he's not going to not deal with them because of Claressa Shields. So that don't even make no sense to me. Like, you got to be realistic with this. Like, why? Sometimes they be just babying this dude, man. Like, what are we doing here, man?
Well, there was this one video that surfaced. Like 50 was in his drop top, I think Bentley or Rolls Royce, and Remy was with him, and he like pulled up, I think it was in New York City, and he dropped off Remy to meet with you.
Fake news.
That's not real?
Fake news, false narrative, internet bullshit, man. See, one of the things, man.
And hold on,
I'm gonna get back. I'm
not
address it.
implying that something weird.
No.
was happening.
But I seen what you seen, and just fake shit they do. You know what I mean? You know, when you go at it with a dude like 50 and you really shit on him and you really touch the nerve successfully, he got these little minions and these little dick riders who start creating fake videos about you. They start flooding your page. So that video right there, that was one of those. What happened was, if you watch the rest of it, you'll see 50, Remy, and myself sitting there having a conversation, laughing, joking. That's the part that they cut out. They were doing a commercial together. Some type of content or commercial, and me and her came there. In the process of them shooting the content, part of it was them to, you know, ride in the car or whatever to that degree. That was part of it that they were shooting. They both was paid to be there or some weird shit like that. It was a job. There was no drop her off. So they took that, edited it up, chopped it up real quick. Hey, 50 Cent drops off Papoose to Remy. Not showing you the full production crew. It's a commercial. It's just internet shit, bro.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, but there was this other video that I saw recently, and this was way back in the day. It was at a radio station, and 50 and Max B were there, and you actually walked into the room because you had a problem with Max B at the time, and they had everyone kind of go outside. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. You know, I mean, I was on a different type of time back then, Vlad. I was a different guy, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to Max B. Welcome home, man. You know what I mean? Me and him spoke, and we squashed that. So I really don't want to get into it. You know what I'm saying? But you've seen the video. You know what I mean? It was what it was back then. You know, I'm not that guy no more. You know?
Yeah, man. I mean, you got into it with Fat Joe back in the day. You got into it with Uncle Murder, I think, back in the day. Yeah, man. You were on a rampage at one point. I feel like this is a more mature Papoose here.
Yo, Vlad, let me tell you something, man. These guys, man, these rappers, right? And this is what people don't look at, man. They wear that on their sleeve. I'm a tough guy. I'm a gangster. I'm this. I'm that. If you look at Papoose, I never needed to do that, bro. Like, I come from that. Don't ever get it twisted. And people who know it is what it is. If you look at me at the peak of my career and the highlight moments when they put the light on me, I said black love. You know what I mean? I created Law Library, which teaches brothers how to beat their cases. You know, if you find yourself in trouble with the law, certain technicalities that you could utilize. If you listen to my my Law Library series, they have literally helped people get out of prison. So I created Law Library so brothers could learn. I said black love when they put me on TV, right? I put black love on my hat. I marched with Al Sharpton and different congressmen when I was like at the peak of my career. Anything that took place, you see me on the front line speaking on it. But these guys, as soon as they get on, what they start doing, I'm a tough guy, I'm a gangster, you know what I mean? And outside of that, I just utilize my talent and my craft. You know, I'm very passionate about hip hop. So I never need to play that role and wear that on the forefront. But these guys, they know what's up with me. They know what's up with me. And you know, and I don't say that to present myself like I'm the toughest guy in the world. But I do greet disrespect with disrespect. If you disrespect me, I'm going to disrespect you back. Outside of that, I'm humble, and it takes a lot for me to even go there. You know what I'm saying? So that's just that, bro.
Well, Clarissa is 18-0 right now.
18-0. You hit it right on the head, man. Sharp.
18-0. But a while back, there was talk about her fighting Muhammad Ali's daughter, Leila Ali. And I think Leila did the Breakfast Club and says she doesn't see any worthy opponents to get her out of retirement, and said that, you know, Clarissa could never beat her. So then there was some back and forth where I think Leila said, well, I'm gonna need 15 million to fight her. And Leila, like, I guess had this big check with 15 million on it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, well, you know, shout to my Win Records family, man. Shout to Clarissa, man. Clarissa, like I said, she's the best ever. You know, and yeah, you know, I don't really like to speak on this, you know what I mean? Because, you know, they're women, but so I don't really like to get too in depth with it, but I will say this. I do know it was a fight, and at the fight, they put the camera on Leila Ali, and they asked her about Clarissa. They asked her, like, hey, you know, about something to that degree. I don't remember the exact question, but the person who was asking the questions, he did mention Clarissa's name when he asked Leila the question. And when she responded, she said, you know, 15 million. And in her response, she said, yo, I'll come back out for 15 million. So when she said that, you know, our team, which is Win Records, who Clarissa just signed, congratulations, she just signed the $8 million deal. And I'm very happy to say that I was a part in facilitating that and making that happen, because I've been an executive at Win Records for a very long time before I even met Clarissa. Shameless plug to everybody up there who be running their mouth, by the way. You know, yeah, it was me. I was the guy who helped that happen. But anyway, who helped make that happen. When she said that, our family and our team at Win Records said, okay, 15 million, is that all she want? Okay, well, let's make it happen. And they put the money in escrow and, you know, put the offer out there, but, you know, she declined that offer. Everybody has the right to decline, you know, with all due respect. But that, you know, to answer your question, that's exactly what transpired.
So you mean to tell me that Leila Ali got an official $15 million offer to fight Clarissa and she turned it down?
100%, Vlad. She turned it down.
Yeah, man, I don't blame her.
I'll tell you something.
You know, 18-0 Clarissa.
That's it. So, Vlad, you mean to tell me for 15 million? Okay.
Oh, 15 million? No, I'm getting in the ring with her. Yeah, you can set that up. Yeah, me and Clarissa get in the ring. I'll take a loss. I'll take an Adam 22 caliber loss for 15 million. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you something that nobody know.
Okay.
When Leila said she want 15 million, and we came out with the 15 million and put it in the escrow, our limit really was 20 million. That was the limit.
Mm.
Like, I spoke to the team and the internal conversation, and I hope they don't get mad at me for letting this out, but the internal conversation was, yo, listen, we know she said 15, so we're gonna offer the 15, but if they come back and negotiate, the highest we're willing to go is 20.
Wow. 20 million. Yeah. But I mean, Leila, what is Leila Ali's record? Hold on a second.
I think she got like, I don't want to say the wrong number. Is it like 30, 32 or something like that?
24-0 with 21 KOs.
Say it again?
Ooh, 24-0 with 21 knockouts.
Okay, I said it wrong. 24, okay.
Yeah. So really at this time, she has a better record than Clarissa. At this time. Now, Clarissa's younger.
I'll tell you this, and you know, I don't like to get into it, I don't like to speak on it, because they're women, and I feel like as a man, you shouldn't do that. But I will say, yeah, let me not speak on that. I'm gonna leave it alone, man. But I am a big fan of boxing, and I know boxing very well, man. But I'm gonna just chill, man. But you know, yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone.
Well, you know, for some reason, I thought that Leila was bigger or heavier, but they're actually the same weight. They're both like 165, 160.
Well, you know, Clarissa is a champ in various different weight classes.
Right.
So, you know, that's how amazing she is, man. Clarissa Shields is the best ever, Vlad, man. I'm not just saying that because she's my lady, man. Like, she's the best ever, bro. You never seen a fighter who does what she does in that ring. I'm talking about on all levels, bro. 2-time Olympic gold medal winner. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Listen, I've never actually been to one of her fights. I've seen her fight, her fights on TV. But
you gotta
I actually now you got me excited to actually go to one of her
Vlad,
fights.
the last fight she just had, shout to little Boosie. Boosie walked up to the ring. Shout to Boosie, by the way, man. I love the way he handled the situation he just went through. I love the way he handled that. But Boosie walked up to the ring, sold out, man. Sold it out, man. 18,000 people in the building. It's amazing. Pandemonium. Shout out to my brother Michael Blackston. When they put a mic in front of him after the fight, he said, yo, I'm not going to see no men fight after this, man. He said they scared to hit each other. He funny as hell. He said they run around the ring. He said Clarissa fight, soon as the bell rung, they went at it. You know what I'm saying? Mike Epps. Shout out to Trina. Trina flew in. The mayor of Detroit was there. Shout out to her. Man, there was so many great people in the building, man. Clarissa right now is on fire, man. Like, she's just elevating constantly.
When you look at boxing right now, though, it seems like the celebrity boxing element has overshadowed what I call real boxing, right? Like, look at the male boxing world. The biggest fight of the last, let's say, 5 years was Canelo and Crawford. And outside of that, all the biggest fights are like Jake Paul versus whoever, Mike Tyson versus whoever. These are all non-sanctioned fights. They're really exhibitions and so forth, but I feel like they're getting most of the attention. How do you feel about that, being the boxing fan that you are?
Yeah, man. Well, shout out to Makisa and those guys over there at MVP, man. I don't really want to knock what they do. You know what I mean? I enjoy it. I watch the fights as well. I think that being a big boxing fan, I still 100% enjoy what we grew up on and watching and knowing and studying as boxing, from the Ali era to the Tyson era to the Mayweather era to the Clarissa Shields era that we're living in now. So I still enjoy that, and I enjoy what those guys do with the celebrity boxing as well. I don't want to take nothing away from them guys, because they do training camps and they do get in there, and some of them actually fight. So you can't discredit them. And also, they're finding tremendous ways to feed their families. So I can't knock it. I just make sure, me personally, as a diehard boxing fan, I keep the two separate. I enjoy what they do, but I enjoy what these guys who are real gym rats, real fighters, like they were born fighters, you know what I'm saying? I just keep the two separate, but I respect what those guys do, and I don't want to bash them.
No, listen, at the end of the day, they made tons of money. But when you look at, for example, Canelo versus Crawford versus Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, it's almost not even the same sport.
Yeah, it's two different things, man.
You know what I'm saying?
But if you're a guy like me, you already know the outcome of that fight when you see Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. You already know what's about to happen.
Yeah, no, it was sad to watch, man. Like, this man got his jaw broken in multiple places. He lost teeth.
You gotta salute Jake Paul. He got a lot of heart to get in there with Anthony Joshua. It's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta salute the guy for having that level of heart, man. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
What do you think would have happened? Because originally the fight was Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul.
Which is crazy,
right?
Too. Which is crazy.
Now Gervonta's a lot smaller, physically shorter and so forth, but he does punch hard. I get that. But what do you think would have happened if Gervonta actually fought Jake Paul?
I think if Tank would have caught him, how we know Tank catches guys, it would have been the same result, man. we talking about Tank, man. Like, Tank is different in that ring, bro. He's one of them guys, so it's not really no escaping him in there. He's very crafty as well, so I don't think Jake would have been able to get away from Tank for 12 rounds neither. You know what I'm saying?
But he could push him around a little bit and kind of stall a little bit. He can't do that with Anthony Joshua because he's actually physically smaller than Joshua.
I study boxing, bro. It's Tank, bro.
No, listen, I wouldn't want to get in the ring with Tank either. I've interviewed him before. He's like a little Mike Tyson, basically.
Yeah,
that's how he's been compared. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a matter of time before a guy like that catches up with you in that ring, bro. Yeah. Like, you can run, but you can't hide.
I mean, I'm going to watch it, but I'm not really looking forward to Mayweather Pacquiao too.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, I am. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I feel like we watched like some more low grade shit than that. Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, we like went into pay-per-view and purchased things that were less than that. We can watch Floyd and look forward to Floyd and Pacquiao again. No,
I'm gonna watch it. Like, I'm definitely gonna watch it, but I'm not anticipating it. I'm like, all right, man, these guys are 50. This is obviously just a money play. I mean, I guess it's actually a sanctioned event, so Floyd could lose his perfect record
Tell you this.
over this fight.
I'll tell you.
I mean, they're 50 at this point.
Well, I'll tell you this, Vlad. I wasn't there this particular day. I wasn't there. But Clarissa did tell me one day, she said, man, I swear to you. She said, Floyd, she said she was in the gym somewhere and Floyd was like training or whatever he was doing. She said, yo, bro, Floyd can go in there right now with the best fighters and whoop their ass right now at this age that he's at. She said he's that level good, bro. Like, I believe that too, though. I believe Floyd could go in there and compete with the top guys right now.
No, I mean, listen, Floyd's obviously still in the same overall shape that he was as a boxer. He still looks good. He's still, slim and looks like he's, still works out, still in shape. It's just that, I don't know, man. Like, I feel that in the boxing world especially, people just always seem to go past the time that they should. Like, you really, really saw it with Muhammad Ali. Like, if you watch, like, the tail end of his career, he's doing interviews and you could tell that cognitively he's already messed up. He's already talking slow. He already has, like, the Parkinson's kicking in and so forth. And yet he's still getting in the ring and still fighting dudes like Trevor Berbick that just fucks him up real bad in his final fight. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Whereas, like, he shouldn't have even done that. He should have been the Muhammad Ali that everyone loved without all those really bad losses at the end.
Yeah.
So
I think
I don't like to see these older dudes. I didn't like seeing Mike Tyson in the ring with Jake Paul. I thought that was horrible.
Yeah, I mean, I was disappointed in that fight, man. With those two right there, because I feel like I seen Tyson biting his glove, and I feel like he was holding back. You know what I mean? I'm speaking as a fan of the sport. But just to add on to what you just said, I agree with you. But I do notice in modern times, guys are being more smart. Like, if you listen to Floyd when he talk, you always hear him saying it's about hit and not getting hit. I want to retire with all my faculties, and he was able to do that. Once he reached his peak, he retired from the sport. He still comes back and does exhibitions and all that, but he was able to not be in a position that unfortunately the great Ali ended up in. Bud just recently retired after the Canelo fight. So fighters are being more smart now and getting out of there before it's too late. Andre Ward, I'm talking about these guys are retiring while they're at the top of their game. So, what you said, I think it has a lot of truth to it, and I'm glad that now fighters are waking up and not fighting past their prime like that, or when it's too late.
Oh, mate, look, you can look through the Vlad TV boxing catalog, and the majority of older boxers that I interview, it's hard to understand them talk. They're slurring their words. Like, wow. I've had to put subtitles for some of the boxing interviews that I've done.
Wow.
It's not a pretty sport, man.
What's up, man?
What's up, man? What's up? Honor to have you here.
Man, it's an honor to be here.
Yeah. Well, it's your first time here, and you don't do a lot of interviews, so I want to get, I want to start at the very beginning.
Not a lot, but I do some.
You do a few.
Nah,
it's not a pretty sport, especially boxing. Once you get into the heavyweight categories where people are hitting obscenely hard. Yeah, man, it's sad to watch, man. I mean, do you and Clarissa ever have conversations about when she's gonna retire?
One thing about Clarissa, man, people don't understand. She's very smart. She's very calculated. Like, not only do she map out what she does in the ring, she maps her life out. And she plans ahead. She knows exactly when she wants to retire. She loves boxing, though. She's really passionate about boxing the same way I'm passionate about emceeing. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, she doesn't plan on staying past the time that she should, but I can see it's going to be hard to get her out of the ring, man, because she loves boxing so much, bro.
Well, you guys have talked about having a baby. I think she's mentioned it before. Is that in the works, or?
No, not yet. So what's going on right now is she's going to do 3 fights this year. She did 1, and she got 2 more to go. So after that, yeah.
So that means that she's gonna have to take at least a year off, if not longer.
Yeah, because you know you got to be pregnant for 9 months, so she's gonna.
Yeah, and then you want to raise the
Yeah.
baby. You don't want to jump right back in the ring after giving birth. So
Yeah,
that's probably the
she-
6 months. So really about a year and a half, realistically.
Yeah, you gotta take time off. But we talking about Clarissa Shields, man. Like, this is Superwoman, bro. She's like I told you, Vlad. She maps things out. She knows how much time she wants off. The whole thing. Also, while she's pregnant, she also vocalized that she still wants to work out. You know, some women are able to do that. She still wants to exercise to make sure, you know, she doesn't fall too much out of shape. So all that plays a part as well. Yo, Vlad, I'm telling you, bro, people think, you know, what they see in the ring, they think it's just that. Diet, self-care, massage, strength and conditioning. I'm talking about boxing is a lifestyle, bro. And she lives it to the T. So this is what her competition don't understand. They think it's just training camp. No, she lives in training camp, bro. Even when she's out of camp, she's just like a perfectionist, bro. It's crazy. It's amazing to watch, and it's very inspirational.
Well, yeah, I remember Blueface had his fight with, what's his name, Chibu recently. And she chimed in on that because Blueface was saying he got robbed and everything. And she was like, no, I think Chibu won that fight. And a lot of these rappers or celebrities that are getting in the ring, they should really do a serious 6-month training camp. Don't just do 1 or 2 months and think you're going to jump in that ring. I mean, listen, I've boxed myself back in the day. It's hard, man. It's not as easy as it looks. It's not a street fight.
Nah, it's
where,
not.
you know, 30 seconds and it gets broken up. No, this is round after round of you not trying to get hit.
Well, I'll say this,
someone
man.
trying to hit you.
Right, and I will say this, you know, shout out to Blueface. You know, he actually, Clarissa had her signing party in Cali. Shout to him, shout to Wack. They came out, show love. You know, I think the internet took that out of context. You know what I mean? She didn't mean nothing towards Blueface. Like, she actually, you know, she see the qualities he got, but she also see like areas where, you know what I mean? Like, he can, you know, just elevate his game a little bit. And I don't even think she was speaking on that, but I do know that she sees that. If you watch Blueface fight, bro, you're not about to say, just hate on him. You got to acknowledge that he got the heart to get in there. And, you know, he popped that jab down, pop it up top. He was in there with Mayweather, you know what I mean, before. That was impressive. But yeah, I think the internet took that out of context, you know what I'm saying? She wasn't saying nothing bad about him, man. She actually fucked with Blueface. He came out and supported something she did.
Yeah, no, she didn't diss Blueface, but she said that, you know, in this particular case, she felt that he legitimately took a loss. And, you know, as a professional boxer, you have to respect her opinion when she says that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. And listen, Blueface, look, you know, I've interviewed him. Me and Wack are cool. All right, here we go. The interview everyone's been waiting for.
Yeah, all right.
Blueface on Vlad TV.
So, 101 Dalmatian.
Fresh out.
Come on, man.
Fresh out.
It's been
Welcome
about
back.
10 days.
I was there at the media day when, you know, he had the whole Swaggy P upcoming fight.
Okay.
You know, so yeah, man, I'm very supportive of anyone who gets in the ring, man.
Nah,
Listen,
you
I
got
was
to.
right there,
you got to, man. Shout out to Wack. Wack is my guy, man.
Yeah,
We got a lot of history.
I mean,
man.
listen, I walked Adam 22 in with this fight with Jason Love. That was an absolute bloodbath.
Oh yeah, it was a bloodbath?
Oh, you didn't watch that fight?
I only seen like little clips online. I didn't know it was a bloodbath. I didn't know that.
Okay, I'm going to show it to you in real time.
Shout out to
Hold
Adam
on a
22,
second.
man. That's my guy too, man.
Hold on, yeah, that's
He
my
was a big
man.
Papoose
but
supporter,
I
man.
I felt
Get him
seriously
my career.
bad.
He gives my career, man.
Adam
He
22.
showed me a lot of love, man. And once again, him, I gotta take my hat off to him for getting in there. Regardless of the
Yeah.
result, man. You can't downplay that. That's first round?
No, that was it. That was the whole fight.
Damn.
That was the whole thing. It was over at that point. That was a TKO.
Yeah, shout out to Adam 22,
He-
man. That's my
yeah,
guy, man.
he did not land one. I don't even think he threw one punch.
Yeah, it don't look like he sparred. I think he definitely would have to spar and train more and take some more time. You know what I mean? But shout out to him, man, for getting in there. I gotta salute him.
Yeah, man. Shout out to him. But you know, basically what he said was that when he was training and they were teaching him how to block, like the guys he was sparring with, I don't think were hitting him all that hard. They were just kind of playing around with him. So when he actually gets in the ring with someone and he tried to block and the punch went through the block, he realized he had no defense at that point, and it was just pretty much over. Like all the training was for nothing.
I was training with this Russian dude who was like, you know, probably about my size or a little bit smaller than me, not as big as Jason Love, and he's like a professional fighter. So obviously he's going at 10, 20%. He's not fighting to his full strength. And even just that in the sparring, you know, I got hit a couple times in the head where I swear my neck was hurting for like a week and a half straight after that.
You didn't really train with someone that was really boxing him for real. So you got this big muscular dude in the ring with you that's really trying to win. It just didn't work out too well.
Shout out to Adam 22, man.
Yeah. Well, a couple things before I let you go. You said this is the worst era of hip hop.
I did. When I said that, Vlad.
Hold on. Let me pull it up.
Yo, that's funny.
I don't just make shit up.
Yo, they can't get nothing past you, man.
Hold on.
I said that.
Hold on.
That's crazy.
Let me just cross-reference it.
Yeah, make sure I said that,
Vlad. This was on the Danza Project a few months ago.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and call this the worst era of hip hop. Right?
Be nice.
And that laugh tells me you agree with me. Right? Do you feel like that is part of it that took it down? Right? Because you used to have to get the composition notebook. Mm-hmm. Or one of these notebooks, right? And then you used to have to write your lyrics.
Yeah, man.
It was an art just to write the
You
music.
had to write
You
it,
had to
man.
scribe.
You had to actually write it down. What the fuck do they do now when they write when they create lyrics?
Chat GPT.
Man, you know what, Vlad? They take it away from what hip hop is about. You know, like I grew up in this, and I'm very passionate about it. You know what I mean? I understand what it was built on. I understand what's at the root of it. So when people try to make it seem like it's about other things, it bothers me, man, because it's really not about that, man. You know, you got to understand, you know, and I don't want to say when it first started, but like in the beginning of hip hop, and me as a child being a part of it, hip hop is something you live, rap is something you do, I'm a part of the culture. When I seen another MC and you know, he let me know he was an MC, we would immediately trade, right? Still sharp and still. If you was a beatboxer, we would beatbox. If you breakdance, graffiti, you know, you got the 5 elements of hip hop, DJing. So it was about showing skill. And then eventually it turned into a business. And some people try to make it seem like it's about the business, and those who aren't giants in the business aren't good. And that's just bullshit, you know what I'm saying? We all gotta feed our families, we all gotta make a living. But when we're talking about who's the top 5 MCs and you're telling me this guy is better because he wore a better outfit, or this guy is better because of what's in his bank account and you've never even seen his account balance, I just can't talk to you no more. You know what I'm saying? Those are not things that we should be judging artists upon. And I think that hurts the culture, that hurts the craft of it, because it becomes low-hanging fruit and people feel like they can just do anything. So those are just some of the things that I dislike about the culture that people do. You know what I mean? And not because of what they gain from it, but because of what they take away from the true MCs who really do this art form for real. I feel like lyricists are the most hated in hip hop. And no one sees it because people are blinded by shiny objects. You know what I mean? And part of the reason why a lot of these guys in the industry always hated me is because they didn't have a leg to stand on. If you want to talk about shiny objects, I got that. If you want to talk about hip hop, I'm authentic, I got that. If you want to take it to the street, I'm from there. We could play that game too. If you want to talk about having substance and talking about something, I'm capable of that as well. So, and enlightening people, you know what I mean? Let me add that. So that's why they always hated me, because they didn't know how to come at me. So what they just did was they always tried to block my career. They always hated on me. And I feel like guys like 50, when he comes out and he has so many negative things to say about me as an artist, right? But in the process of him saying it, he's quoting my biggest hit. By the way, I ghost wrote plenty of hits. I'm Dumbo. Been cashed in.
Wait.
By the way, when you want to,
hold on. You can't just throw that out there like that. Not on VladTV.
Featured on tremendous hits. Shout out to my brother Joe. We had one of the biggest records ever. Baby, Where You At? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Busta Rhymes. You know, when I featured on Touch Remix with so many legends, and arguably, you know, there are people who say I had the best verse. So for a new artist, for people to even say that, it says a lot about you as an artist. I can keep going, Vlad. My accolades are tremendous.
Hold on a second. Who did you ghostwrite for? Ghostwriting means that, people don't even know you're associated with that song. It doesn't mean, that you're on the song with them. Who did you ghostwrite for?
Well, that's why they call it ghostwriting. I can't tell you.
Oh, so you can't say it. You can't say it. Okay, I got it. All right, I got it.
But Vlad, my pen work, and I'm being honest with you, man. These guys, and I'm gonna say this on VladTV, and I don't even promote this. Your favorite rappers, they've been afraid of my pen since I came in the game. They've been afraid of my pen. They've been afraid of me. And I don't want to say they're afraid of me because, on some tough guy shit, they've been afraid of my pen. They've been scared of me, bro, as an artist. So they've been putting up roadblocks and hating on myself. Rest in peace to my brother DJ K Slay. We had these conversations numerous times, and it's been confirmed to be true. I did an interview with Envy one time, who's one of the top DJs in New York City, and he admitted it. Yo, we couldn't play Papoose records. You know what I'm saying? When he came through, we didn't support his record. You can look this up. Because he was K Slay artist. That was that angle of it. So I caught the K Slay hate and the Papoose hate. So and I think a lot of the I ain't gonna call no names because I actually slap fives and salute a lot of these guys out here. I don't got nothing against them. But I will say this, right? If you look at hip hop and what transpired in the last 20 years, there's a couple things that transpired. One of the things is New York took the back seat, right? In hip hop. And part of that reason is I feel like a lot of these guys, they hated on the new artists that were coming up. When new artists were coming up and doing their thing, they didn't embrace them. Not only did they not embrace them, they put up roadblocks. They signed some of us and just to do a tax write-off. They never wanted to see nobody come up. These are the guys at the top of the game, right? I feel like they were so busy blocking the New York artists that it gave the South an open lane. And not to take nothing away from the South because they did what they were supposed to do. They made the right records. They handled their scandal. But these guys were so afraid of us coming up and trying to block us, they kept their eyes off of, they took their eyes off of who they should have been worried about. And I feel like that's how the South was able to come up. Them guys had the unity amongst each other at one time, right? They going through their shit now, but they had the unity and they took over. So I feel like that transpired. I also feel like in hip hop, part of the reason why streaming and the streaming platforms took over and radio took the back seat now is because they was gatekeeping too much, bro. There's too many hurdles and obstacles you had to go through to get on the radio. And I really think they were so busy blocking that the new generation said, okay, we're gonna just go over here then. Because they couldn't get on the radio. Getting on the radio is damn near impossible. You know what I mean? Not to mention payola and all the sucker shit they was putting artists through, that you had to go through just to get on the radio. But I really think that's why streaming became so powerful and the streamers are running the game. Shout to Academics. I don't want to not name anybody, but shout to all of the streamers out there. But Academics is one of the guys who I feel like he did what he was supposed to do. And part of the reason why they were able to capitalize and be at the front seat of the game, I think Jay-Z just did an interview the other day and he said, yo, the DJ is not at the forefront anymore. And I love all my guys out there, all my DJs. I got love and respect for y'all, so I'm not shitting on y'all. But I am keeping it a buck right now. Some of y'all were making it too difficult for artists to get support from y'all. Even when y'all knew niggas was on fire, artists killing it. I'm talking about touring, doing shows, making dope records. Y'all still was being difficult for them to get support and get on the radio. And that's why now, y'all niggas took the back seat and the streamers is running the game, bro. Real talk.
Well, I mean, what you said about this being the worst era, I mean, there is some evidence behind it because if you remember, in October 25th, 2025, it was the first time in 35 years that no rap songs appeared on the Billboard Top 40. 35 years. And overall, hip-hop market share decreased something like 24%. So hip-hop is not on the charts anymore. And from my point of view, the reason is because, look, no one could deny that hip hop is youth driven, right?
Well, I hear you, but I don't like when people put it all on the youth though.
It's not all on the youth.
I don't like when they do that either.
But every superstar in hip hop started out as a young artist.
But some of them had their biggest success when they were older. A lot of them.
Yes, you have you got the 2 Chainz of the world and so forth.
Right. So 2 things could be true, right? 2 things could be true. Like what you said, it may be youth driven, but some guys, the superstars, really took off when they got older. So, you know what I'm saying?
But if you look at most of the people, most of the big artists, usually 20s, early 30s at the highest when they really achieve their superstardom. Most times, 90% of the time. You rarely see someone that gets hot for the first time in their 40s.
For the first time? Yeah, well,
For the first time.
I don't want to
never.
encourage a guy to be, you know, a senior citizen and try to start a rap career. I think it's some truth to what you said. You know, you kind of got to start at least when you're younger, and then if you grow old, you age like fine wine. If you're one of those guys, you can keep going. I do disagree when they base everything upon the youth. When you have an artist in the studio and you got somebody who comes in there and say, "Oh, but is the youth going to like that? Is the kids going to like that? Oh, the kids don't want to hear that." Like, bro, the kids are not the only ones on the planet, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? You do have the elder statesmen in the game, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Vlad. Some of the most talented, malicious, vicious, dope, articulate spitters are the older guys, bro. I'm talking about like with that real quality substance. A lot of them are older, but you got some of the young guys, right, who go crazy. I don't like when people try to play the old against the young. That's whack.
Well, no,
because we supposed
that's
each
not
one
what I'm
teach
doing.
one.
But what I'm saying is that most times when you see kind of the shifts in the culture, there's usually a young person behind that, and then it's a domino effect, it's a ripple effect, and so forth. But when you look at all the biggest artists, Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole, like all these guys that are big right now, they started off when they were young, and they got real hot when they were younger. They continued their streaks and so forth. And you know, you could say that lyricism isn't valued as much in hip hop anymore, but you can't say that Kendrick's not a lyricist.
Yeah, you can't say that. Nah, Kendrick definitely.
You can't say J. Cole's not a lyricist.
Well, I don't take nothing away from him. I did disagree when he pulled out of the battle.
So you disagree with me on this?
No, I'm saying with all due respect to J. Cole, you know what I mean? Because he did put his pen down, and you got to respect his pen, right? But when the situation transpired with Kendrick, I didn't approve of, you know, him backing out of that. I got to say that. As a hip hop historian, I'd be fake if I sit up here and say that's what it is, bro.
No, I think everyone kind of, when that happened, it was like, man, that's not hip hop. Like waving the white flag after dropping a diss record and apologizing, that's not hip hop. That's not hip hop. But I'm saying outside of that moment, when you look at how his songs are structured and what he writes down and how he spits, I feel like he's still a lyricist.
And I want to salute him for his new project, for coming back strong, man. It ain't about how you fall, it's how you get up. So I will salute him, and I agree with you on that. He definitely one of them guys. But in that moment, I was like, come on, bro. I was rooting for you, my nigga. Like, what you doing? The way he spit when he did the record with Benny the Butcher, if he would have came at Kendrick like that, we would have had a whole different battle. Go listen to J. Cole and Benny, and look how crazy he went on that Benny joint. Shout out to Benny too. He did his thing too. But J. Cole, if he would have gave us that J. Cole, whole different battle. I don't know why he came with the bouncy flow against Kendrick, which is always a mistake. To all my lyricists, never do that, man. When it's wartime, go to your element, bro. That's you. That's what we want from you, bro. So I think part of that shit is having yes men around you. Whoever was around him should have said, yo, bro, that ain't it, bro. That's not what we want. Because as lyricists, let me tell you a secret. It's easy for us to do that bouncy flow shit. That shit is like, it comes fast. It's too easy. So he kind of took the easy way out, in my opinion, in that situation. Because even though it's easy for us to do it, when people hear it, they're like, oh shit, they be amazed by that. But for us as lyricists, that shit is a cakewalk.
Would you consider, as a lyricist, would you consider Drake to be a lyricist?
I think Drake has some moments, and it's just kind of tough, you know what I'm saying, with all of the allegations that came out. Me being the type of guy I am, I think I'm more of a fan of hip hop than I am an artist. That's what people don't know about me. Like, I'm a big fan of the culture and the craft. So, I'm a ghostwriter myself, so I don't want to take nothing away from no ghostwriter or nobody who utilized one, because you really can't take nothing away from them. To be honest, bro, it's something that I do. I ghostwrite for people, so I understand the process of that. And I think a lot of the guys like Drake who make hit records, you know what I'm saying, they understand that it's a process and it takes a team. When those guys make those type of records, it's not one person in the studio. They all in there doing that shit together. But to answer your question, it's kind of tough for me to pass judgment on him, because a lot of that was never clarified. Like, I don't know if he was writing at all. You know what I'm saying? He might have wrote some of it and took a little help here and there. They say only God could judge. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. But shout to him, bro.
Yeah, I mean, look, when the whole Meek Mill thing went back and forth, Quentin Miller got thrown into the mix, and Quentin Miller did write some of the stuff for Drake.
Shout to Quentin Miller,
when you
man.
look at, sorry?
I said shout to Quentin Miller. He,
Yeah, shout out to Quentin Miller,
He came on my
man.
page a couple times, big me up, he showed me
Look, you're
love.
right. Like, look, you think Beyonce goes to the studio by herself?
Yeah,
and
come
produces
on,
and writes
Vlad.
everything?
Like,
No.
Yo, this is what I want guys to understand. And I've been at all levels of this game. I got friends at all levels. I've been at all levels. I've seen it all, Vlad. These motherfuckers not in the studio by themselves, bro. So those records that y'all call quote unquote hits that y'all love so much, go look at the credits, man. They're not doing that by themselves. It's a team when I'm doing that. And if you listen to it, it starts to make sense to you, like, okay. And then, in the process, to all my real authentic hip hop heads, be a little open-minded towards those people, because what I've learned as I've gotten older in this shit, I'm gonna be honest with you, Vlad, I'm keeping it a buck, VladTV, there's a talent to that too, bro. Like, you can't 100% say those guys is trash. Like, some of them melodic dudes, them niggas is talented. Like, you don't want to ever be one-track minded and think, oh, I'm a lyricist, fuck the world, I'm better than all these niggas. There might be some truth to that, but you don't discredit them, man, because you got some melodic dudes. Like, I think A Boogie is dope, and he's very melodic. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the kids that I like a lot.
Well, here's a question I've asked a couple times. Who is the better artist? Not rapper, overall artist. Jay-Z or Kanye?
Kanye is not even close to Jay-Z. What are you talking about? I don't even think I wouldn't even compare him to Jay-Z. He's not on Jay-Z's level at all.
Really? So you would say Jay-Z's a better artist than
Hell
Kanye?
yeah, he's a better everything than Kanye. I don't separate it, Vlad. I don't separate artists from rapper. I don't do that. I'm not into none of that. You can't impress me with nothing but your pen. I don't care about your outfit. I don't care how much jewelry you got. I don't care about your cars, your bank account. I never seen your account balance. I'm not about to give you credit. I don't care about how many people, whatever the fuck, how savvy you are on social media. I'm not about to give you artist credit for none of that shit. I think if you nice, you nice. If you not, you not, bro. So to answer your question, I think Jay-Z is light years ahead of Kanye. I think Kanye would tell you that. He said he's better than Jay-Z?
No, he didn't say that, but
Oh.
I actually would say that.
You think Kanye West is
for
better
example,
than Jay-Z?
Yeah, I think overall, because I'll put it like this, and I just interviewed Wayno, who started out at Rockefeller. He actually agreed with me as well. In terms of straight rapping, yeah, Jay got it. But in terms of overall artistry, rapping, singing, producing, going outside the box.
Yeah. I would never dispute that. I mean, Jay-Z's a far better rapper. The thing about Kanye is that, keep in mind that he also has collaborative work, right? Like, he doesn't write all his lyrics. So he can, that can subside for him doing other creative things. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to, he does. He at one point in time was making his own beats, but he doesn't make every single beat.
I think rap-wise, Jay's a better rapper, right? But I think that it's somewhat close because Watch the Throne, both rappers were holding their own on every song, right? It's not like anyone really was getting smoked consistently on that album.
Name one song.
But, what's that?
Name one song. Wasn't Otis on that joint?
Otis was on it.
Jay-Z smoked him on Otis.
I
got
think it was
such and such
relatively
passports,
even.
I'm never going to jail.
The Paris record, I think maybe Kanye had a little bit of an edge on that record.
Nah, bro, he can't. Yo, bro, Kanye can't fuck with no Jay-Z, bro.
Right, but what I am gonna say is Jay can't do the type of music that Kanye has done. Like the really melodic stuff, like the really, the stuff with the singing involved and just like going real left field artistically. I haven't seen Jay-Z do that.
I think he
Kanye
absolutely
has consistently
can.
done that throughout
I think
his career.
Jay-Z absolutely can do what Kanye does. Let me tell you something, Vlad. As lyricists and true MCs, it's easy for us to do what they do. But you know something? They can never do what we do. And Vlad, I don't talk like this because I know if I talk like this, a lot of people not gonna like me, bro. So if you notice over the years, you don't hear me saying much because they so sensitive and they so weird, they make false narratives. They take this one clip and be like, Papoose said X, Y, Z, not knowing what we said before and after that. But I'll tell you this, bro. We can do what they do. That shit is easy. I was just telling you that earlier. That whole bouncy flow, the fast shit, that shit easy to a real lyricist, bro. But they can never do what we do. So no disrespect to Kanye West. I'm not disrespecting him at all. I'm not dissing him. You know what I'm saying? But he can't shine Jay-Z shoes, bro, in the studio, on a microphone. Anything to do with a mic and a turntable.
We can agree to disagree.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
We can agree to disagree. Well,
also, it's not an opinion either. It's fact, but it's cool.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Before I let you go,
Cool.
And I don't know if you and I ever had this conversation, but what I realized was that our last interview was done maybe 6 months or a year before K-Slay died. He was still alive when you and I last sat down.
Wow.
And when you think about regrets you have in life, like, oh, I wish I had said this, I wish I had done this. Me and Kay were texting each other because we always stayed in contact, right? He helped me, book some interviews, I'd, check in on him and everything else like that. We weren't super, super close, but we always maintained contact. And my last text to him, I just, how you doing, bro? He's like, yo, I'm good. Just trying to stay away from this COVID shit. And I'm like, oh, word? Did you get the shot? And he's like, nah, I'm waiting for all the variants to die down and then I'm gonna get it. And I remember reading this going like, well, that's not really how it works, right? There's always gonna be variants. If you're waiting for the variants to die down, there's always gonna be new variants. And I got the shot myself, and I know a lot of people, who died along the way who never got vaccinated. And I remember when he said that, I wanted to say something to just kind of like say, well, that's not exactly how the science works. But I didn't because, Kay is older than me and, I've always, we've had a certain type of relationship. So I'm like, I'm just going to be like, all right, cool, bro, stay safe. Shortly afterwards, he caught COVID and he ended up dying a few months later. And I always think to myself, damn, if I had said something, maybe it would have gotten him to change his mind. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. And I remember, me and Sheik Luch had the same conversation. And he goes, yeah, bro, like Kay wouldn't have listened to you. He had his own, idea of what to do. And, because I think they had similar conversations before, off the record. But he's like, yeah, it probably wouldn't have made a difference.
I told him he should get it done right around when I got over that shit. I told him that shit. But Slay, Slay OG and was stubborn in certain ways. Right? Like, when Christmas come around, nobody don't wish me no Christmas, that devil holiday, or Thanksgiving, don't tell me happy Thanksgiving. That was Slay. Yeah, so he had his own thing.
I still feel kind of bad because I'm wondering, just as a friend, if I had said something, maybe he would have been like, all right, cool, let me go get vaccinated. And then once he caught it, it could have potentially saved him.
Yeah, man. You know what? Even when you just brought his name up, what I'm saying, it made me sad, man. That's my brother right there, man. What was interesting when I heard you mention him, I just realized that if you look on Slay's page, right, it's a clip that he posted on his Instagram is still there. And it's me on your show. And when he posted it, he wrote, "It's not what a person say about you when you're there, it's about what they say in your absence." And it was me in the interview, me and you were talking, and I was just speaking about how he changed my life, how he's my brother, just speaking highly of him. K-Slade, just to add on to what you said, 100% agree, man. One of the realest ever, a big brother to me. Definitely all about giving opportunities. If you got talent, K-Slade is going to support you. If he feel like you have talent, and he's not going to do the political thing, you know what I'm saying? So big salute to my brother K-Slade for that, man. And it made me think about that. It's still on this page. To add on to what you said, man, yo, bro, I don't know how to verbalize it, and I'm a man of many words. I don't know how to explain to you how careful Slay was during COVID, bro. He was one of the people that crossed all his T's, dot all his I's, wore the plastic suit when he went shopping, disinfectant, alcohol, everything. Like, he was super careful throughout COVID. And then as it started winding down and we were able to go back outside, he ended up catching the shit. So I'll never forget, bro. I was at home one day and he hit me. He like, yo, I'm in the hospital. I said, what happened? He said, I got COVID. I said, Slay, you fucking kidding me. I said, yo, bro, first of all, why did you go to the hospital? We always said we were never gonna do that because remember, people were going to the hospital and it came to a point where we feel like the hospital was killing motherfuckers because you go to the hospital, you be one way, you go to the hospital, next thing you know, you pass away and you on the motherfucking machine, you know what I'm saying? So I said, Slay, damn, why you even went to the hospital? Like, we talked about this. And he told me why, he explained it to me. And it was regular routine, like our regular routine. We would speak every day. We would be laughing on the phone, the whole shit. And then one day he hit me and he was just like, I might not make it.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
Wow. Yeah.
And if you know Slay, you know Slay is a strong individual. I'm talking about anything that happened, he stand tall, he's fearless, nothing can break him. But for him to be in a situation where, you know, he felt that he was probably about to die, for him to think of me as one of the people he wanted to let know, that shit touched me even deeper, you know what I'm saying? So when I got that text, I started sending him paragraphs like, yo, Slay, come on, bro, you strong. You know who you are, you know what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Don't let it beat you mentally. Like, everything I could think of to just talk him and make him feel better, I was sending it to him. And that was the last time I ever heard from him, bro. That was the last time I ever spoke to my brother, man. And you know, I got in contact with my brother General, and he, you know, me and him just started working every day, and you know, he went under, they put him under. And he never came out of that coma, man. So just rest in peace to Slay, man. Even earlier, you know, when you asked me about, you know, hip hop being in the position it's in, I think part of the reason why the game is messed up is because K-Slay is not here, bro. Like, you can name so many artists and you go, so many of your favorite artists, if you go to the foundation of their career, K-Slay is there. Gave so many opportunities, so many chances, not just the men, to the woman with Straight Magazine. I know he fucked with you heavy, like even when you was going through, when you had people, you know, just putting a bad stigma on your platform, K-Slay was, he even would tell me, man, I fuck with Vlad. He still was doing interviews with you, still working with you. That's just how he is. He's not a sheep. He don't follow the crowd, bro. Just a leader. And my brother, man, rest in peace to Slay, man.
Yeah, look, people like to throw the word purist around, but if I could think of one person who I would have considered a hip hop purist, it was absolutely DJ K-Slay. He never deviated from his original mission. He did exactly what he was doing to his final days, still breaking records, still working with new artists, never got rich, never sold out, never did certain things that compromised his character, still played the same type of records and had that same type of energy to his final day. And there's not a lot of people in this game that you could say that about, because everyone kind of shifts and rotates and does different things as life changes. But K just never did that. The K that I met back in 2002 when I, first moved to New York was the same K Slade that I knew in 2022 when he passed away. 20 years, I never saw a different K Slade. It was always the same person.
Yo, Vlad, it gets no realer than K Slade. Paid in this shit, paid, got his money, stayed decked out. You go to his crib, your shit like you feel like you a motherfucking, I don't know what to compare it to. Like, you fly ass crib, always decked out, always fly, heavy jewels, the whole shit. Hip, like you said, hip hop purist. Fucked with the underdogs. The dudes at the top respect him. Stuck in his ways. He doesn't bend, he doesn't break, he doesn't fold. He represent real hip hop. He was there at the beginning, early as a youngster doing graffiti. Desi Dej, you know what I'm saying? Like, very well known, helped build this on his back. I started out with that brother in 2004, bro. And like I said, we grind with mixtape after mixtape after mixtape, all the way to 2007. You know, as a youngster, he never allowed me to get discouraged, kept me focused, forced me to rhyme on certain beats that I didn't like, showed me the format of a song. You know, I'm keeping it real, bro. Like, this was my brother in real life. Kept me out of trouble as much as he could. You know what I mean? And eventually we ended up getting a $1.5 million deal. So me, as a young kid from the hood, hip hop was my dream. That brother changed my life. Like, without him, I probably wouldn't be here sitting here talking to you, man. And he changed so many lives. In the beginning of Kendrick's career, the first time I ever heard Kendrick Lamar was on the Drama Hour with K Slade. Me, I let Kendrick open up for me in New York when he was just a new artist. You know, I brought him on stage, let him rock out. Nipsey, the first time I ever heard Nipsey hustle, the Drama Hour with K Slade. You know what I'm saying? I can keep going. J-Rock, even the beginning of 50 career, this guy, man. You know what I'm saying? When he went through what he went through, Slade was the one who put the 50 Shots of joint on his album and all that, and helped him propel it to where he was at. When Nas had beef with Jay-Z, K Slade was the DJ who told the truth on the radio and said that Ether was better than Takeover when they was about to steal a win from Hove. You know what I'm saying? I mean, from Nas, pardon me. And shout out to Jay-Z, I ain't dissing him or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Him and Nas is cool now, so I can speak about that. K Slade supported that whole situation with Nas. I could just keep going, man. He just helped so many people, including myself. And he helped preserve the culture, man. And I feel like it's a big gap without K Slade. So rest in peace to Slade. Also, you know, I also carry on his radio show, The Drama Hour. I've been doing it for years now. Shout to LL Cool J, man. Every week, every Friday at 9 p.m., Papoose on The Drama Hour on Rock the Bell, Sirius XM.
Word, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I
didn't
carry
know
on
that.
Slade show, bro. I'm still doing it.
Yeah, man, listen, like K really set the blueprint for people like myself, because, you know, listen, like a lot of DJs, a lot of hip hop people, they don't want to play the beef records. They don't want to get in the middle of that. They want to be cool with everyone. They want to, you know, go to the listening parties or to the mansion parties and so forth. K was like, fuck it, I'm going to play this shit. And whatever the repercussions are, that's the repercussions. Yep. Deal with it. It's
he don't care how nobody feels.
You know, and that's how, when I got into VladTV, that's how I took it. I'm like, yo, I'm going to take this K Slade blueprint. Fuck everybody. You know, someone get mad, they get mad. They'll get over it later. Or they won't. Whatever.
No, that's a fact.
But at the end of the day, I got a job to do.
do.
And the fearlessness of K Slade always impressed me, man. And that's something I always looked up to. And yeah, man, I'm just glad I got to know him. I'm glad
Vlad,
the time we
very
spent together.
fearless, man.
You know, he's done my show a few times, did some crazy stories about DMX that we turned into cartoons and everything.
Wow.
And
nah,
yeah, man, rest in
crazy.
peace to one of the greats, man.
Nah, yo,
definitely
bro.
missed to this day.
Very fearless. He doesn't operate off of feelings and emotions. Like, he doesn't let people control. You know, the industry likes to control you. If you look at K Slade run that radio, like, he was on the radio one night a week, bro. We was able to do what we did and become, I became the hottest artist in the game with one night on the radio every Thursday night at 12 p.m. Because a lot of the other people, they wouldn't support me, you know what I'm saying? We fought through that and we was able to accomplish what we accomplished with that. And so many careers were born on the Drama Hour. That's why when he passed away, I said, if it's one thing I gotta do for him, I gotta carry on the Drama Hour, man. So shout to LL for giving me that opportunity, man. But rest in peace to my brother K Slade, man. I could sit here forever and just tell you, you know, all the great things about. You know, another thing people don't know about Slade is the last thing I'm gonna say, because he, you know, he got the Drama King and everybody know him for that. K Slade was the one who kept a lot of drama from happening. He stopped a lot of beef that went on, bro, and it was off the strength of K Slay. And even Wack will tell you that. Shout out to Wack, man. You know, him and Slay had a close relationship. Wack will co-sign that. K Slay kept a lot of niggas safe, bro. Trust me.
Well, yeah, because if K calls you, you're gonna listen to him.
Exactly.
You're gonna hear what he has to say. You may not agree with it, but you're gonna take that call. He earned his place. That whoever he calls, they're gonna take that call, man. You listen to what he has to say. And yeah, I don't know what beefs you're talking about specifically, but I can totally imagine this.
Big void in hip hop without our brother, man. K Slay.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, bro.
That's what it is. Papoose, man. Always a pleasure.
Hey,
you
look,
and I have
man.
always maintained a contact. This is a 20-year relationship at this point. I think it's only right for you to come here to Vlad TV to, say your piece about the whole 50 and Clarissa and everything else situation, man.
Hey, look, man.
Congratulations. And, man, listen, you got a great girl with Clarissa.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I admire the relationship, man.
Thank you, man.
I hope it continues to get stronger and stronger. And, props to you guys from ignoring all the extra noise on the outside. I've always tried to keep my relationships private, man, because I can't deal with a lot of the shit that you deal with on a regular basis, man. So I definitely salute you with what you pulled off, because it definitely brings a harder bent to the relationship when you got to have everyone else chiming in and sending memes and fake videos and partials this and everything else like that, man. But, I love to see it. And I hope you guys all the best. Hope you guys have kids. And man, until next time.
Yo, Vlad, thank you, man. I want to say thank you, man. And I want to just say, man, to everybody out there, stop listening to the false narratives, man. You know what I'm saying? Agent Provocateur available on all digital platforms. I also got a couple albums coming this year. Shout out to my queen, Clarissa. You already know I love you, man. The best ever. Vlad TV, y'all. Y'all already know what it is, man. Salute, Vlad.
Peace.
Peace, brother.